for Jacob Wilson, and we are tied at 3 in the third.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles.
Back here on the Rich Eisen Show Radio Network. If you're talking about advanced tech, you're normally not thinking about space. Until now, introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9, space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. EPA estimated range for Ioniq 9 based on a fully charged battery for comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors. I guess we'll finish this show with and another thing. Here we go. Because we talked about it earlier on about
and another thing, Vonnegut.
The Cleveland Browns giving their first 11-on-11 rep of their first mandatory minicamp practice to Dylan Gabriel. And here's the rookie afterwards.
Yeah, I think, you'd like to say that you don't change the circumstances. I try to approach every single day like that and control what you can. And that's just being, ultimately your best in that moment. And the best competitors I've been around have been the best at being present.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I liked him when we talked with him
Me
before
too,
the draft.
Man. Yeah. He almost went a coaching cliche of control what you can control. But that works. All right, here's Shedeur Sanders after the practice. Shedeur?
I'm managing it real well. Yeah. Overall, it's a mentality. It's mental. It's a lot of people in certain situations in their own life, that may not be at the forefront, that maybe had that at one point in time, but you got to know it's going to be bright days eventually whenever the time comes. So you just always got to be prepared, and you got to mentally take it as just an experience, for anything in life, you got to go through different things so you can understand the message that, God's trying to give you. So that's why everything I'm way more grateful for, just to come out here, to be able to throw the ball around and just be able to get on the field. Like, everything off the field, it is what it is, but everybody know when it's time to get on that grass, then you know who I am.
That was his response to getting the last reps. You got the last reps. Man, he is handling his business. Anybody who thought, I don't know, kid can't catch a break. Anybody who thought that he would not be humble sees this, and they've got to be humbled by that. Unless their response is like, guess what? He wouldn't have been that way if they drafted in the first round. You know what I mean?
You know that.
He was humbled by being a fifth-round pick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Once people's mind is set, it's never going to change.
Or you could have been just like, I should be getting the first-team reps. What's going on? Hashtag legendary. He's not doing that, and he never was going to do that. I mean, who also says the word hashtag? Nobody does.
For us, growing up, it was a pound sign.
Right. Not in 2025.
So, there you go. Splitting reps. What are the reps? Who's getting reps? Joe Flacco starting week 1. All things being equal, everyone healthy, Joe Flacco starting week 1. Week 14, don't know the answer to that question. Don't know the answer to that question. But, man, Browns preseason games are going to be fun to watch. Here we go. Who's getting the start? How do they all look? And then it's on Stefanski to figure out who stays and who does not.
They're not going to keep 4 on the roster.
Somebody's going to be practice squatted or not.
Yeah.
I do not know. That'll wrap it up for this edition of the Rich Eisen Show here on a busy Tuesday. Back to wrap it up on the Roku channel.
Great open house. You gonna put in an offer?
Nah, I'm just here for the hors d'oeuvres. I could never afford the down payment.
Well, Navy Federal Credit Union offers a home buyer's choice loan with no down payment options, right?
They do? That's incredible.
Sorry, what?
A homebuyer's choice loan can open the door to home ownership. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Terms and conditions apply. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval and eligibility requirements. Learn more at NavyFederal.org.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or in third-party delivery.
Greenville, Pitt County, and community neighbors, are you looking for a way to make a real impact in your community? Join us for Lunch and Learn with Building Hope Community Life Center, a powerful opportunity to discover how we're transforming lives through faith and education. Enjoy a delicious lunch, hear powerful stories, and learn how you, your business, or organization can be a part of something life-changing. Register today at buildinghopennc.org, because when we build hope together, we build stronger futures.
The Parker Bird Show.
Former NC State basketball coach Mark Gottfried.
I also, had 7 years where I got to sit at the feet of John Wooden. Just as a reminder, he won 10 national championships in 12 years. So, I had the unbelievable opportunity to drive out to his house and sit and talk and, bounce all the ideas off of him and develop a philosophy and kind of take some of the things obviously he did, but it really kind of gave me a foundation for then how I wanted to kind of incorporate all the things that I felt were important in coaching.
The Parker Bird Show, exclusively on Pirate Radio TV on YouTube.
Stella Artois is a world-renowned Belgian beer with over 650 years of brewing heritage. Stella's rich, full flavor and smooth finish is perfect for making moments worth more. Stella's non-alcohol option, Stella 0.0, offers the same iconic taste without the alcohol, ideal for those looking to enjoy Stella anytime. Stella, whether celebrating big or small, Stella is the perfect choice for elevating the everyday. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
You love U.S. Cellular Home Internet. It lets you do all your favorite things because it's fast, reliable, and affordable.
Switch to U.S. Cellular today and do the things you love with internet you love. Just pay $39.99 a month when you bundle with a wireless plan. And if you don't love it, you have 15 days to let us know. Built for us. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. I am Dr. Chris Gateway, and our mission at Michaels & Gateway is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway are committed to providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
This is proud ECU alumni David Price of David Price Construction. As a leading general contracting firm, we specialize in commercial construction and renovation. Whether it's updating your office space, renovating your restaurant, or building a new retail store, our team at David Price Construction is ready to assist. We are committed to delivering quality, value, and customer satisfaction across all of our projects. So give us a call at 919-820-3612 or find us online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Go Pirates!
Saturdays are your day to kick back, relax, and have fun. That's why Ottavola Market Cafe is the perfect place to go for dinner, drinks, and takeout. Ottavola is open every Saturday at 4 p.m. on the bar side, serving a special selection of menu favorites of appetizers, pastas, and specialty pizzas. Whether it's dine-in, takeout, or drinks with friends, Ottavola is the best choice every Saturday starting at 4 o'clock. Visit OttavolaMarket.com to see what's new, and visit Ottavola on Red Banks Road every Saturday starting at 4. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Both everyday players.
3-1 pitch. Laureano, a high ball into left field. J.J. Bleday is at the track. Forget about it. An absolute moon ball for Ramon Laureano. A 2-run shot, and the Orioles showing signs of life here in the fourth. They bring it within a run, 4-3.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Afternoon, everybody.
We got Jarrett here. Hey, Jarrett.
Hey,
and we got left side.
Strong side.
What's up, Chandler? How you?
The little guy. It was just such a fresh of breath air.
Well said, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck. I will read it verbatim. The Masters tournament is special.
Hold on, you'll read it what?
Verbatim. Verbatim?
How do you spell that? That word you just said, how do you spell it?
I have no clue.
Say it one more time. You're going to read it
verbatim.
That time you said verbatim.
Verbatim is verbatim. That's what I said. No, you did not. I said verbatim.
Nope. None. No. There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
Loneliness is worse than COVID. It's a proven fact.
I'm not talking about this.
Correct.
That's all. I love y'all, man.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome in to a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Rock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930. Online, pr927fm.com. And you can find us on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you on Pirate Radio TV. What is on your mind on this Tuesday? We've got more portal news to talk about, in and out, for ECU baseball. Dive into that today. We'll sprinkle in some college football, ECU football topics each and every day here on the show. And also we'll get to our guest, including Coach Mack McCarthy. We'll talk a lot about the boring stuff today, the minutia, the revenue sharing, and what it means for East Carolina, what it means for schools across the country. And we'll talk rules. We'll talk boring stuff. I hate it, but I feel like it is a necessity to at least be somewhat knowledgeable about and educate myself on, and you as well. And Mack McCarthy follows it pretty closely. So we'll get into that, a little NASCAR, and some football topics as well with Coach Mack in Hour 2. Bryce Williams will join us. Hour 3, we'll go Pirate Radio Outdoors, and we'll talk to Dylan Rhudy, who is fishing in the Big Rock. He is a first mate on the wall hanger. He went to East Carolina. His wife went to East Carolina, so a little pirate flavor there in the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament. So we'll talk some fishing coming up. We'll tell some fishing tales in hour number 3. We've got Shirley Rhodes here. We've got Jared Watkins from Pirate Radio, also known as J-Bone, here today. I got him here.
Jarrett Watkins, also known as J-Bone.
And we've got the Mully man hanging out with us. What's up, Mully?
Hey, buddy.
You got a pen in your hand. I'm going to just slide you a piece of paper just in case you need it.
Okay, thanks.
You got it. How we doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Kind of a gray day.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to talk to the guy at the Big Rock about because there's no fishing. Nobody's been out.
You know what? Cancel it.
Well, nobody's been out. No boats are out today.
Yeah. Kind of a wash today, I reckon. But I don't know, man. We'll get to know the process. What goes through your mind when you're wrestling with that giant beast?
Okay.
You a fishing guy? You are?
No, not particularly.
Need to take that?
No, I'll call him back. No, I mean, I've been fishing, just not my thing.
Yeah.
If I win, I want to go catching. I don't have the patience to.
I think I'd rather go on a river or a lake more so than deep sea as well.
Yeah, I don't want to do I've got really close friends that do it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to pull the lines up at 2, but it'll probably be 4:30, 5 o'clock before we get by." I'm like, "What?" That's like driving a boat from here to Raleigh and back.
Yeah,
and that doesn't, just doesn't intrigue me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather be on a riverbank. I don't want to get on a boat.
I kind of would like to see a little bit of land while I'm in the water.
Yeah, I was talking to Jenny, and she's like, they went out this weekend. She's like, you couldn't see land at all. And I'm like, no.
I need to talk to Jenny because she.
Yeah, why don't you get her to do the fishing? Well, at least she actually went fishing.
Well, she threw up and then fell asleep.
No, but
she was holding a beverage.
See, that's a better story. This guy's going to go, well, we've been sitting here. We went over to Jack's and had lunch. It was great. And
why are you crapping on my show and our guests?
But what I'm saying is, what are they going to talk? I mean, they haven't fished.
What are we going to talk about? ECU hadn't played a game in over a week.
The fishing's been great, but last year it was really good.
You like to eat fish? You like to prepare fish?
I mean,
you do a lot of cooking.
I enjoy seafood.
Yeah. All right. Good talk. Let's check in with the chat gang. Jamie says, hey now.
Hey now.
Enjoying the DeMarcus Cousins viral clip. What am I missing here?
He got into an altercation with the fan. He rubbed a certain part of his body that was fairly nasty after running around on the court and then went in the guy's face with his hand.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
He gave him the gas.
Wait, when did this happen? Like a long time ago?
I don't know.
Wait, what is he playing in?
He's overseas or something.
All right. I have not seen that. Chad said, bang, bang, chat gang. PJ says, hey.
What's up, PJ?
Steve says, hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
Terry says, less rage. Lane has a baseball question. We'll get to that in a moment. Robert says, go to hell. Get a job.
Go to hell. Get a job.
Thank you, Tommy Tuberville. And Terry says another baseball comment. All right, we'll get to the baseball stuff right now. Jarrett Watkins, can you give us an update on the latest ECU transfers out? And do we have anybody coming in?
Bradley Zayak had the great performance against Coastal Carolina in the regional finals. He is on his way out. He's no longer a Pirate. And they have their first portal addition in Liberty right-handed pitcher Joseph Webb.
All right, Mully, I want to get your thoughts on those two things. First, the outgoing Zayak. We talked about him last week, one of the more carefree big pressure games you'll ever see. He was just out there chewing gum, having a good time, and maybe made some money apparently last Sunday.
Yeah, and I don't, that's the immediate speculation that we all go to is that he got paid or whatever. But I mean, we don't know what all goes on behind closed doors, and where was it a fit for him? Was it a fit for the staff? And at what cost was it a fit? In other words, if there is consideration financially, what's it worth in the perception of the people that write the checks? So, who knows? Best wishes to him. I don't think it's fair, and I do see, not just with him, with other folks, like the questioning of the loyalty of these players and whatever. And it's to the point where somebody explained to me what the loyalty is. If you're working a job that you're super loyal to the folks and you get a raise, I mean, what are you going to do? And if you get a better opportunity, what are you going to do? And it's so it's from a coach's standpoint, I know it's got to be difficult, but it's equally as difficult for that kid. And their families have to make decisions and reroute their lives. The expectation was most likely not to come to a place like East Carolina as a springboard to go elsewhere, because it is such a respected and quality program. But things just happen, and these decisions are made, and none of us know every single detail that goes into what happens, behind closed doors.
Yeah, we talk about it with pro sports. Oh, man, this quarterback, Dak Prescott, just signed this massive deal. Now he is sucking up all the salary space. And there's a cap, and now they're not going to be able to bring in any protection for him or anybody on defense. Are we going to have to start talking about that with college sports and college programs where a couple of their players are taking up the money and there's not enough to divvy out for help?
Uniquely in college sports, there's no cap.
There's not, but the money does run out.
Well, I mean, theoretically, but there's a cap on the revenue share, and it's a percentage with a max cap of like $20.2 million. But
ECU doesn't have an infinite amount of money.
No question, but you could always, in certain situations, go out to business owners and say, hey, listen, Clip Brock he'll endorse your business or your product or whatever it is. If you guys can work out a deal.
Hey, Garrett Blackwelder.
I mean, so it gets you, it creates opportunities beyond just cap. And trust me, don't anybody fool themselves into thinking Alabama's going to spend their quote unquote salary cap on football, but they're not going to abandon basketball and abandon baseball. They're going to find ways, as they always have, to support those. Listen, I'll tell you who I'd love to be right now. Creightons, the St. John's, they don't have to worry about basketball. I'm sorry, they don't have to worry about football.
Yeah.
So they can theoretically, they've got the same salary cap as everybody else, based off of the Senate settlement. But football's a big expense, and it always has been. But it's also a big revenue earner.
Right. And how much of a revenue earner is baseball?
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not. But
that's
it is
where I'm like, what do we? No, where's this money going? How is it being? And it's not my money. It's $10 a month to Boneyard for me. So I'm not complaining about it. I'm just kind of asking, like, what do you get from giving a player all this six-figure salary?
Listen, when you boil athletics down to the nuts and bolts, they are the window dressing. I mean, they are the way a lot of people perceive your university, and it's a proven fact that as programs improve, and specifically football programs, so does enrollment. So, for a place like East Carolina, for a lot of places, there's such an investment in baseball because there is a donor base that follows baseball very closely, so you want to keep them happy. There are ancillary benefits to having a quality baseball program other than just the wins and losses and chance to go to Omaha and all those things. But, I mean, there are people talking about Coastal Carolina right now that would otherwise not be talking about Coastal Carolina based off football or basketball or anything else. Baseball does give you that opportunity.
Well, basketball does as well, which is why I wish that East Carolina would somehow, some way make it into the tournament, because that's how, as a kid, I knew who Gonzaga was, and you can go the Salukis. I knew what a Saluki was when I was 15 because Southern Illinois made it to the tournament. As far as, I mean, trust me, I see why people are so turned off to all this, Mully, because who's losing money in all of this stuff? So the player is getting the NIL money. The coaches are certainly getting paid very handsomely. You hear like schools are losing money, but not the AD, not the administration. They're bringing in fat paychecks. Like the only people losing money are the fans, right? The donors. Like
I would say that the American Athletic Conference is probably in a very unique position, at least in my opinion, of they've always tried to be the next power conference. And it's just never going to happen. There's not enough there, But you take a place like the Sun Belt, and the Sun Belt just said, hey, we're going to be really good at what we are, and they've maximized their opportunity. So if you look at it from a competitive balance standpoint across the league, the Sun Belt's as good as anybody. And then they're putting out products that are nationally competitive. But they're not dealing with again, Coastal Carolina's football stadium holds like 20,000 with no aspirations of holding 60. They're just not doing these things in an effort to try to be Alabama. They're trying to be the best version of themselves. But what they also have that the AAC will never dream of is unlimited TV revenue. They have their own channel. They have their own network. They have, the product is worth exponentially more than the next closest version.
Mike Mullis joining us here as we talk about the landscape of college athletics. Coach Mack brought up a question today, and we'll air it at 4 o'clock. It's a great question, Mully, and I think I know my answer, but I'm not committed to it quite yet. But he said, what has shaped your view of college athletics the most, and the way you consume it, the way you enjoy or don't enjoy it? And the options were the NIL, the transfer portal, or conference realignment. Like, what has shaped your view of athletics the most in the last 20 years or whatever? How would you go about answering that off the cuff?
I'm going to go D, none of the above. I think the accessibility to the games, the familiarity, to sit down and watch ESPN Plus, regardless of baseball, football, basketball, whatever you want, the menu is far more vast than it's ever been. So you've had the opportunity to have access where otherwise you would have. Now, I understand what he's saying. To me, maybe that question is what intrigues you more. But I
think it's what has impacted you the most negatively. would be the way to look at that. It sounds like you're speaking to a positive.
Yeah, my stance, I don't see it as a negative. I see it as certainly as a challenge. But to me, even like going back to Ed O'Bannon, these guys should have been paid a long time ago. Had they gotten out in front of it and said a college football player is going to make $50K, whatever.
Give Ed O'Bannon a few bucks for being on the cover of NCAA 95.
Give Holt Naylor's $1 for every number 12 T-shirt that's walking around town. Yeah. Had that happened proactively,
sure,
we wouldn't be in this boat.
100%. I agree. But there's no way you enjoy the ACC tournament as much as you did when it was 8 teams or 10 teams.
But we're talking about how many iterations and generations have we gone through to get. I didn't like it when they moved it away from Charlotte. So if we're going to do that, we're going to have to go way back to where it's not even a relevant day and time. I also like it when Michael Jordan, James Worthy, and those guys played in it. So, but the same thing can be said for the NBA. I don't like or dislike the NBA because of the money that's in it and the fact that the players change almost annually. That's not why I don't like it. I don't like it because it's not the same product.
Okay. It takes away some of it for me. And I don't know if you're being 100% honest right now.
Well, I mean, okay.
Which is why we have a new segment, the lie detector. I guess we're going to hook Mully up.
But you're entitled to that opinion. I think it's an interesting time. And listen, you don't have to look any further than Coastal Carolina. They never once did they embraced it. I know the baseball staff did. I know those guys. They embraced it. They're like, hey, we're going to get out in front of this.
Yeah.
And they went into a marketplace where, you know, when their first dive in NIL was $100,000, maybe $200,000. They went into it saying, hey, we don't have to spend a tremendous amount of money. Let's look right now at college baseball. For the most part, those that spent the most are at home. I don't think that happens in any other sport. Now, you could see that in college basketball because you bring in 5 freshmen and they all get drafted after 1 year and they get run off the court by a group of old guys. You know, but for baseball, it's totally different. I think in football, you can buy a team in football. And it's very rare that Appalachian State beats Michigan. And it certainly isn't going to happen in today's environment because Michigan's going to have a minor league NFL team out there where App State's going to have a bunch of college football players.
Mike Mullis joining us. Can you do one more segment, Mully?
Sure.
All right. Let's because I want to talk about who's in the College World Series this year and how about them racers? What do you give Coastal's chances? Also, the field of the College World Series this year versus last year. It's a lot different. In fact, no repeat teams. What does that mean? Does that mean anything? Oh, and also something I texted you about over the weekend that I want to ask you about. We'll ask J-Bone and what he thinks. Is it a sign of the times or not a big deal? Something that happened over the weekend regarding baseball. Back with you, Pirate Radio Live after this.
At Riley's Army, our mission is to provide support to children with cancer and their families in North Carolina. From emotional support to financial assistance, we are here to ensure no family faces this journey alone. Guided by faith and a commitment to love and service, Riley's Army invites you to join us. Volunteer, donate, or spread the word. Together we can make a lasting difference. Visit RileysArmy.com to learn more. That's RileysArmy.com.
Hey, Rhudy, you feeling okay? You've been dragging all day.
Ugh, don't even talk to me, Lefty. These shoes are a disaster. My arch is crying.
Dude, we have to go to Fleet Feet. They have a 3D scanner to customize shoes for every foot.
Wait, like custom fit? For me?
Yes, you and me. They have the top brands such as OnCloud, Brooks, and Hoka, plus many more. Fleet Feet, where fit happens. Schedule your appointment at fleetfeet.com or come in today and treat your feet right. Find your perfect pair at Fleet Feet.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
It seems like places are giving you less and less food these days.
Yes, Mama, it's called shrinkflation. Oh, shrinkflation, that's just another word for robbery. But this is shackflation. What? Dang, that's huge. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese on that thing.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and get a shakaroni pizza for only $12.99. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
Hey, it's Lindsay Gray with Carolina Caliber. June is here and it's time to celebrate Dad. From home defense to concealed carry and tons of other personal protection and shooting sports gear, your dad deserves to choose from the finest selection in Eastern NC. Plus, we've got a special promotion you'll find only at Carolina Caliber. Buy any FN 509 pistol, get 3 24-round magazine kits and an FN hat for free. This is over a $250 value. Grab a gift card and send Dad on over to Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. It's a time-honored tradition.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Dixon Williams, and the best place to go for custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items is University Sportswear. University Sportswear hit a home run for me when I needed my custom shirts. From start to finish, University Sportswear provided superior customer service and a quality product that cannot be beat. If your business, organization, or event needs t-shirts or promotional help, then you need University Sportswear. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. Go Pirates.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's Hot Dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for $7.50 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers, or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio, bringing you the best content on air and on digital. We are the voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Overtime Tavern is on South Charles Boulevard, right across from the Sheets, and you can come in for great food, cold drinks, and all the game day action. Plus, play some sports trivia on Wednesdays with our very own Clip Rock. Swing by today and try their Philly cheesesteaks, Glizzy's mouth-watering burgers, and delicious wings. And they're open until midnight, Sunday through Thursday, open late until 3 a.m. on the weekend. There's always time on the clock at Overtime Tavern. And Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store, serving the best cheese, biscuits, and country food around. They're open every day, and they have 2 locations, in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food and your engines with great gasoline. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Shirley Rhodes, Jarrett Watkins, also known as J-Bone from Pirate Radio, is here.
Jarrett Watkins, also known as J-Bone.
And we got Mike Mullis joining us. Old J-Bone did a little PA for the first time this weekend, Mully, with the Greenville Yard Gnomes.
Crabtree did a great job.
Behind the mic. We're about to celebrate an anniversary, Mully. And I know that because my anniversary is Thursday. I think today's our anniversary, Mully, the 10th of going to Winston-Salem. Do a little canes and dirt bags.
It's kind of sounds a little sentimental. Like, should we do dinner or something to celebrate this anniversary?
I mean, I think this is enough.
Maybe drive back to Durham and go to that place where we watched the Texas Tech game?
We did. We pulled over and still didn't watch the conclusion of it because we had to get back on the road. But that was a fun weekend, Mully.
And ironically, those guys are in Winston-Salem right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think they did it and called it the Clip and Mully Anniversary Series.
You know what I'd love? I would love to see the rosters, because I know one guy that was on one of those teams that unfortunately we didn't see pitch on Friday or Saturday was Gavin Williams, who is now in Major League Baseball. But I would love to know where those guys are.
Burleson was on, played first base for one of the teams.
Seth Cadell, who went here, was on one of those.
Joe Adele, that's in the big leagues.
He's in the bigs.
You know, I remember distinctly waiting to, he's a big home run guy, whatever. This is, for those that don't know, they were in high school at the time. And I kept waiting to say, Adele says hello from the other side. And finally, his last at bat, he hits a tank. And I was so excited. I mean, I set it up, let him get around second. And I said, and Joe Adele says hello from the other side.
Great moments in Mike Muller's broadcast history.
It was awesome.
And look where he is today, folks. Calling super regional action.
Regional.
Damn. Too soon. Too late. Too bad.
You let the cat out of the bag.
All right, Mully, I texted you over the weekend because I wanted to bring this up on the show. Jarrett, you're going to love this. The start of Game 2 of the Super Regional matchup between top 10 Oregon State and top 10 Florida State has been moved to ESPN News. So this was not like a delay. It was no rain. There was no beaver loose on the stadium. They moved to ESPN News because of the Savannah Bananas.
I've been talking about this since it happened. I don't think I said anything yesterday about this. Okay. Yeah.
I want to get Mully's take on it, too, because when I showed it to Mully, I said, is this A, sign of the times, B, everything that's wrong with society, or C, not a big deal at all? Who cares? A big nothing burger. So let me ask you first, Mully, moving a super regional game to another network because you have a Savannah Bananas game on, which is fully entertainment. How do you feel about that?
The answer to this is the same as why kids go in the portal. Money. I mean, quite frankly, in sports right now, the answer to every question is money. What is the question? I mean, it's, so this was viewership and, ads sold and all the things that go in with producing something like that. And I mean, 75,000 people watch that stuff in Charlotte. And listen, I mean, you remember, like, I had a wore Savannah Banana shirt long before a lot of people because I had a player that played for him, a kid, Matt Salter from New Bern, and got a T-shirt. So, but that was when it was just a demonstration kind of 5-game thing. And matter of fact, a lot of people will remember Joe Karachi that was here forever. And Joe was a part that was like an original party animal when it was down in Augusta or Savannah. I'm sorry. And they did a 5-game like.
Joe was hooked up with them, was involved with them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in that day, they were just looking for former players to come out and just be part of the show. So, but yeah, I mean, is it what we prefer? No, but we are not the common consumer of sports.
It's kind of funny that Rob Anderson, who tweeted this out where I saw it, almost said what you just said. He said, I have no doubt the Bananas will get better ratings than the Super Regionals, and they filled a football stadium, but still. So it is
No, it's like, but that's, if you go ask, you just go grab somebody off the street that's familiar enough with both and go, what do you think? They're going to go, oh, yeah, the Savannah Bananas are a way bigger deal than Oregon State and Florida State. Yeah.
Yep.
My issue with this is ESPN. It's a sports network. That's not sports. That's theater. Like, let's just put Friday Night SmackDown. Let's just put all this other dumb crap on ESPN then, instead of actual sports.
Well, and there's plenty of dumb crap on ESPN. I mean,
and that's my. This isn't a new issue.
When you tune in and catch poker, or when I mean, so. Yeah, and listen, they do great. Make great ratings. Make great money when they run the Ocho stuff, and they show this obscure.
Yeah. Again, that's also during like slow times when nothing's going on. Pretty much March Madness for baseball.
And I would say, but March Madness for baseball, March Madness are two very different animals, financially.
Yeah.
And that, again, the answer to every question is money.
Yeah.
And I'm also upset with the NBA and NHL to where this was an option. Why is the finals, Stanley Cup, NBA not on Saturday night?
Yeah.
It's the worst possible time slots for these games.
Well, guess what? Neither is playing tonight.
Yeah, nothing's on.
Yeah. I don't get that either.
Yep.
So
well, thankfully we can talk about the portal.
Yeah, we can.
In what used to be a dead cycle, now it's like
Let me get to my listener questions.
You know what, I'll tell you, in lots of parts of the country, it just shows you how important baseball is in Eastern North Carolina. But lots of parts of the country, they're not on their, they're not talking about the baseball portal in.
Of course, you listen to the show after ours, the national show, and it's all about
OTAs, minicamp.
NBA, NHL, and not a ton of college sports because it kind of depends on where you live, where you're broadcasting from. Like college baseball is certainly a niche sport.
Yeah, no question. That kind of goes back to the bananas, but the importance that it has in Greenville and in Eastern North Carolina at large is what makes it so relevant. And I can tell you, I've not been, and of course I'm aligned with being more of a baseball guy, but I've not had anybody ask me about football or anything else. The dust is yet to settle from the baseball season, and probably, quite frankly, about the time it gets settled will be time for fall baseball to start.
Right. Be cranked up again. All right. So Lane asking, are there any Conley guys that could land at ECU? Mully, you got some D1 guys at Conley right now?
Listen, we certainly do. They're still a couple years off. We're really young. We've got one player committed now that's headed to UNC Wilmington, Tucker Anderson, right-handed pitcher. And if I'm forgetting somebody, but he right now is the only player we have committed. Big cycle right now because we have a bunch of the guys that are up-and-coming juniors. They're out playing the summer circuit, and this is quite honestly when a lot will happen for them, and then it'll kind of be solidified during the school year. But I'm going to tell you, man, from a baseball recruiting standpoint, again, we now know it's going to be 34, right? That's the number now. We don't know how they're going to perceive the grandfathered kid, and how does that change rosters?
Yeah.
And moreover, who's going to monitor that? Is that is that your compliance department? But I will tell you, when you take a kid – and I'll use an example of and just for nobody's name, just in general, you take a shortstop that's a really good high school shortstop, okay? He's toolsy, he's got all the things, and he's on 10 Division I boards, okay? Does he sign Division I? I think the chance is still 50-50. He could be on 10 boards, and does he still sign Division I? Because is the Division I player, not so much because of the money, but because of the portal availability. Does the college coach sit there and go, you know what, shortstop is a tough position to play at this level. Do I take a chance on catching a dude like Braden Burris, and then Braden Burris turns out to have the year that he had, and he didn't play shortstop. Shortstop is a very difficult position at that level, as would be catching. Those to me are two of the harder positions at Division I level. So does that kid get passed over?
Is this kind of what you're getting to, Mully? East Carolina just lost 2 freshman pitchers, right?
Yeah.
What, Lance and Zayak?
And then a sophomore in Pruitt.
Yeah. Is that kind of what you're getting to? That, man, instead of bringing in these freshmen, do I just go look for juniors and veterans?
I'm not suggesting that should be East Carolina's formula.
But that's a question.
But I am suggesting that, like, when you're sitting down at the end of the day and you're the head coach and I'm the recruiting guy, and you go, okay, Coach Mullis, who do you have? And I go, man, I got this kid is a junior, upcoming junior in college, and here's his numbers at the last college he was at, but we got this freshman we could bring in. Which way do you go?
It's almost now you've got to take what you can for now and not look at potential like you did 20 years ago, right?
You know what's
potential? The potential is going to be that guy showing his potential at another place, unfortunately.
You know what's happened all of a sudden is people really, really college 4-year Division I with all the everything you could ever want, the resources, the money, everything. They're all of a sudden going, damn, man, those JUCO guys have had it tough for a long time because that is the life of a junior college coach. Yeah, and it's really not a cycle. It's almost a recycle, because it doesn't have long enough to have a scripted timeline. You bring a kid into a solid kid into a junior college program as a freshman. He plays. He could be drafted that year. He could go on somewhere else and play that year. Anything could happen. Now everybody's in that boat, and they're having to recruit needs every single year.
Yeah. man, just another headache for these coaches while we've seen a lot of them get out of it.
But the short answer to does Conley have some quality players that could show up at East Carolina? Sure they do. It's going to be, and it might not be straight out of high school. Who knows? Who knows how all this shakes out? But, yeah, and it's not just Conley. This county's full of really good players.
Do I know Tucker Anderson's dad?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bram
Anderson.
Saw him earlier today.
Yeah.
So he's committed to UNCW.
He is.
Good
He committed basically this time last year in August.
Gotcha.
Is when they could start talking to those guys.
Good deal. Terry says, how about this transfer? Joseph Webb from Liberty. He said, I heard he is the Danny Beal. What does that mean?
Yeah, but I guess going to throw every day. I think the deal is you again at that level. This is before now and obviously now, especially as it relates to pitching. Man, you try to stockpile. You stockpile a bunch of maybes, right? You go, okay, this guy could be this and this could be, but it's a quote unquote proven arm. I understand there's another closer that's coming in. There's a hitter that's coming in from Walter State, another hitter that's coming from a JUCO. I mean, so they're pulling together talent and they're but man, at the end of the day, I'll never forget Steve Logan made this comment years ago, and it may not be verbatim, but the idea is the same. He talked about rating a recruiting class. You know how they go, East Carolina has a top 10 recruiting class in the country.
Yeah.
And he said that's like taking a handful of seed at a farmer in Eastern North Carolina and saying this is a top 10 crop in the country when you don't know how much it's going to rain, how good is the farmer, there's a lot of variables. You bring in guys that you feel like fit the bill, but at the end of the day, man, cultures, opinions, work ethic, all the things that that play into being the loudest variables can create problems. It's tough, man. Recruiting is like practicing medicine.
Yeah.
It's not an exact science. It's you recruit thousands hoping that you have 10% of them really work out.
And by the way, the part we don't talk about a lot with the portal and roster and recruiting is the guys that don't pan out who just quietly exit the program.
But
not because they're going to go get a payday, because they want
to go play
or were asked to.
And that's what's funny to me too. People go, well, he's just a freshman and he didn't play a whole lot. Okay, well, Colby Thorndike didn't play a whole lot, and he was pretty good, been pretty good for Coastal. And Connor Rasmussen.
Connor Norby didn't play a whole lot here.
Well, but I'm saying Connor Rasmussen, he left here, went to Tulane, developed into a really good player.
Yeah.
Connor Norby early on didn't play a whole lot. So, I mean, you can't just cast them off and
I'm
go.
guilty of that too.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we don't know. Again, they're just a handful of seed. You don't know what they're going to turn into as they continue to develop and grow and change. And quite frankly, the biggest growth is not whether they become 6'4" or 5. It's how much they grow between their ears and what is their, how does their mentality develop, and do they learn to be, a college athlete?
Jamie says, I'm waiting for a kid to come here from the Big Ten or SEC. Well, we just had that with Pruitt.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Well, you had an ACC kid in John Collins. He was at Boston College behind the plate.
We've had that.
You've got Antolik. He didn't pitch this year, but he's from Texas A&M. I mean, so we've seen this. I personally feel like the higher the conference, so we'll go SEC, and I know that Omaha doesn't reflect this, but we'll go SEC. I feel like if you get a kid out of an SEC program, there has a tendency to be more wrong with that kid than if you get a kid coming up from a Division II program or from a lesser program than East Carolina.
You just mentioned Antolik. Do you know anything about him and Towers?
I just know that they both feel like they'll be back, from what I understand, that both hope to pitch next year. So that'll be a big deal. I mean, right now, as it stands, significant innings on the mound, not knowing what Young's going to do. He's probably going to be a pretty decent draft pick. I mean, he's really good. I mean, you're returning Norby and Jenkins, effectively the innings that you're getting back on the mound of any significance.
Didn't one of them come in with injury concerns, and then the other one happened while they were here? Did I get that right?
I saw both of them throw in the fall.
I think Antolik was it Antolik that had the hip procedure in the fall?
That was the procedure.
And that was in the fall, and I think he had maybe an outing or two, but I remember seeing him on the mound and go, great, that dude looks the part. I mean, he fills out the uniform, he looks the part, he carries himself the right way, all those things. But, injuries are tough, man.
Terry, by the way, made the web DB comparison because of multiple arm slots. Interesting.
Okay.
All right. I look forward to seeing
like
that. Anything else? Joel says, how would the new House committee ruling affect roster spots for baseball? You hit on that a little bit, right?
Yeah, 34 is the number now as to where they can be in the fall. Here in 40, they can bring in and got to be down to 34, at least right now. And listen, folks, if we're really honest with ourselves and we look at not only East Carolina but look across the country, most programs are literally leaning on 26 to 28 guys, period, right? That's who's getting the bulk of the playing time. So, going to the 34 puts you more in line with what it was before COVID. I'm going to tell you what I think this bill does is it probably has the greatest impact on other sports. I think to a point, football, basketball, baseball probably benefit, basketball being men's and women's. I think it's those other sports that could find themselves in a bind, and I think you'll see the NCAA go away from you got to have 16 sports to be Division I.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see a lot of sports probably go away.
Interesting.
So and it's unfortunate, but quite frankly, at the end of the day, the money's got to come from somewhere.
All right, Mully, what does it say to you that we have an entirely new field in Omaha than last year? Is that
you know what, man? I tell you, the first thing it makes me do, Clip, is I got to walk it back a little bit because my opinion after last year was this new divide is the Grand Canyon, and the halves will always be there, and it'll always be the SEC, the ACC, and that's just who's going to battle it out. So I am super happy to eat those words.
So you got what? Wow, 2 SEC, 1 ACC?
Yep.
Man, that's it. And then you've got your Super Cinderella in Murray State, although I look at their record, 44-15 this year, and Coastal's not a Cinderella, but they are on the outside looking in when it comes to the power conferences. So I guess for us ECU fans, those are the rooting interests for us.
Yeah. And I want you to keep in mind, like, Coastal has been in a league with the Sun Belt that has been a 2-bid, maybe even considered a 3-bid league. They had 3 nationally ranked teams this year. Coastal carried the highest RPI of anybody that East Carolina played for the year. I think they finished at like 8 or maybe 12, somewhere above 15. And they were double champions, conference and regular season. And that team has been built over time. I mean, they've had some good fortune with Morrison. Their best arm was a little bit banged up last year. He's been back. Fluky's been really good for them. Eichhoff has always been good. I mean, that dude was the Friday night guy. Now he's the Sunday guy because the other guys, just performed. But, man, they did not. I could be wrong about this. I'm 90% sure. They didn't miss a start out of their weekend rotation. And that's really impressive.
Luck or
no? I think Matt Williams is a really good pitching guy. I think
that sounds rare to me.
Well, and they missed some last year, and I think those kids were like, "Hey, man, we're going to do whatever we have to do. Yeah. We're going to find that internal resolve to say we're going to be in the best shape we can be in and go out and get it." So, Coastal, you're right. I mean, Coastal feels a little Cinderella-ish, nowhere near Murray State. I mean, Murray State is. Probably nobody more surprised than they are to be there. Coastal, I think this was kind of an expectation. And I'll tell you what they did. They rolled out a cool hat today. I don't know if you saw it, but they did a white hat with the big Omaha across the front and their logo on the side, and they're selling it as kind of an NIL deal.
Yeah.
And it's an innovative idea.
Man, Pollard got the hell out of Durham fast, didn't he?
Well, I felt like 2 weeks ago that was kind of what was talked about, but I didn't think it would happen that quick. It almost makes me feel like when he goes out and asks for the review of that last play last night, I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was a slide and there was potential interference. It was called interference on the field. They reversed it, put Duke back in the box with 2 outs in the inning and a runner on first base. As quickly as he made this move, it almost feels like when he went out to argue that call, he was like, man, I hope they go ahead and bang this thing because, man, if we go to Omaha – we're going to drag on that much further, and it's going to be that much longer before I can take this job. Because I think it was kind of a very poorly kept secret that he was going to be the guy that got that job. But it just makes me wonder, like, okay, why? I mean, we talk about loyalty and money and NIL and portal and all these things. Well, why does Brian O'Connor leave UVA? The job he's done there has been exceptional. We've been there for 22 years. And he leaves and goes to Mississippi State. Well, the answer is somebody at UVA must have said, Coach, we're going to support this, but only to a certain point. O'Connor says, all right, there's greener pastures over there, and away we go. At the same time, a team that's 1 out away from going to Omaha in Pollard at Duke says, you know what, UVA is a better situation than this one. So, here we go again.
Yep. Let's see. There was one more. Sometimes I forget what we talk about before we go on the air and when we go on the air. We'll let you go, Mully. Sorry, I'm keeping you.
No, you're
so
fine,
long.
buddy.
Anything on the hitting coach front, Mully? Do you think that spot will be filled shortly?
From what I understand, pretty quickly, and it's going to be a pretty well resumed hire.
From the outside.
With some ties from the outside, and I think that'll be it'll be interesting. I mean, I hate it for Coach Lartigue, and I'm sure that Coach Godwin hated to have to make that move, but felt like it was necessary, and they're get a new guy in, some new energy, and breathe a little bit of life back into the offense. Of course, I will say, man, I thought the progress the offense made from the beginning to the end of the season was pretty marked, and I again, I hate it for him. I think he'll land on his feet. Coach Lartigue will, that is, and but it. I will say, stem to stern, man. If you watch that team play from the beginning to the end, and obviously we've noted the changes that were made, but the product that was on the field, that last game was as good a college baseball game as I've been involved in an awful long time, and so I think the improvement was vast, and then it's just a matter of where the program can go from here.
Mike Mullis joining us. Jamie says Mully for AD. I mean, I would endorse Mully for AD, head coach, whatever, but I don't know if it would work out, but I do know that you are a hell of a pundit. Like, I think you're doing what you need to do.
No, thank you.
Because you got
appreciate it.
Something for everything.
Well, look, if we're gonna throw out new ADs, I'll start it right here. I think Cliff Godwin will be an outstanding AD. I've
heard that for a while.
I have
you
told.
Really believe,
I truly believe. I mean, it's the road.
You want somebody to have your back and
if you
fight for you.
If you want somebody to say that's stupid, or that's just dumb. Why would we do that? I think he would be the guy. And listen, I'm not saying the current administration needs to leave. That's not at all what I'm implying. But I'm saying if that were part of the conversation, I just think nobody loves this place more than Cliff Godwin does, and I think his energy would be interesting to say the very least.
Do you remember after the Army game during the fifth quarter when we had JC and Danny, and everybody was calling to be like, fire John Gilbert and hire Cliff, and they just laughed, be like, he's not going to do that.
Yeah,
that would be one thing he would not do.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I don't know. Cliff Godwin's ever changing.
Don't say what you're not going to do. That'll be exactly what you end up having to do. So I mean,
Evan Oliva said 18, 19. Cliff Godwin would have had a fist fight. He didn't say. I'm paraphrasing now. The altercation before the Florida game would have been different 7-8 years ago, perhaps.
And look, I got to tell you, that would have been like, okay. I'm good with that. Like, that would almost be like a little SEC pregame in football, right? Like the two teams, Florida and whoever, gets together in the tunnel. Hey, that would have been. Now, I will say the tape would have favored the Gators greatly. They had some huge,
you mentioned that. They
had some huge human beings on that team. So,
all right, Mully, good stuff. Who's going to win the U.S. Open?
Oh, man, I mean, can you go against Scheffler?
No.
I mean, I think
overwhelming favorite, folled by DeChambeau, Rory, the usual suspects.
Yeah, Rory, man, he played bad last weekend, but I gotta like Scheffler, and as much as I don't like DeChambeau, he just blows up. He'll find a way to lay an egg at some point. But Scotty Scheffler, I think he'll be right there at the end.
All right, Mully, great stuff, man.
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the baseball this weekend. Happy anniversary to you.
Hey, same to you, bud. Do we have dinner reservations tonight, honey? And I'm sorry I forgot.
Got a TVs.
I should have brought you balloons and flowers or something. I just totally forgot.
Oh, well, maybe next year. We'll take a break, wrap up hour 2. Coach Mack told me that I had a surprise on the way. We recorded an interview at 2. And when we return, I'll see if I can call him live and open whatever my surprise is. We'll do that. He got me an anniversary gift. How nice. Back with you, Pirate Radio Live, after this.
Nation, your dream home starts with an unshakable foundation. At Unshakable Builders, they don't just build houses, they build trust. From blueprints to keys, their expert team is with you every step of the way. Serving Greenville and all of Eastern North Carolina since 2009, Unshakable Builders turn visions into reality with craftsmanship you can count on. You dream it, they build it. Visit unshakablebuilders.com to start your journey home the right way. Unshakable Builders, build on a solid foundation.
Hey Pirate Nation, warm weather is here and it's time to get back on the boat. And at Stroud's Marine, they're stocked up with over 26,000 pre-owned parts. They got everything you need from propellers, lower units, trim units, electrical and fuel parts, and just about anything else you need for an outboard. Stay up to date with the latest deals, parts, and promotions by following them on social media. And as always, their mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Remember, they're just around the corner. Stop by the shop at 865 Rivet Street in Greenville. For more information, head to StroudsMarine.com. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvaged outboard parts.
At Langley Contracting, we're superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, we've got you covered. And best of all, we handle your insurance claims. We are locally owned right here in Eastern Carolina. We are licensed and insured and have a 25-year roof warranty. We can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Call or visit us online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today.
Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialist.
Capital Subaru of Greenville is transforming your everyday commute into something a little more extraordinary. Subaru was just named 2025's best overall automotive brand by Consumer Reports, and there's never been a better time to drive one home. From the adventure-ready Outback to the sleek and efficient Forester, they got the perfect ride for you. In addition to their great selection of new and used car inventories, the Subaru Service Center is commanded by a team of experts, handpicked for their knowledge, passion, and promise to treat every car as if it's their own. Capital Subaru of Greenville, off Memorial Drive or online at capitalsubaruofgreenville.com.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, Wings Over has everything to cure those late night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Looking for bold flavors and badass deals? Get to Bad Daddy's Burger Bar in Greenville. Right now, the Badass Margarita is just $8. Yeah, you heard that right. Feast on the mouthwatering burrito burger, dig into their elote street corn dip, and treat yourself to the churro crunch shake. Wash it all down with BD's Amber Ale, just $4 all day, every day. Or sip one of their signature cocktails, like Southern Peach Tea or Daddy's Dragonberry. And don't miss half-off appetizers the last 2 hours before they close. It's not badass if it's not Bad Daddy's.
This is Dixon Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine has been caring for Pirate Nation and the student athletes at East Carolina University
for more than 35 years and are the official team physicians for ECU, Orthopedics East, and Sports Medicine Center. Provides a variety of general and specialized operative and non-operative orthopedic services to meet the needs of the patients of Eastern North Carolina. For more information, call 757-2663 or visit orthoeast.com. And University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006, and they are the local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of your business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Maxter.
Yeah.
Mack, you're live on the air.
No.
All right, we're about to run your interview after we take a break, but I just got delivered a package from FedEx.
All right.
So we weren't able to discuss it during our segment because I didn't have it yet, but I want to open it real quick and tell you if I like it or not. All right.
There's no doubt you'll like it. It is 100%. Sometimes you give somebody something you're not sure, but this is a home run.
All right, let's see. Hang on. I'm going to open it up. All right.
Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
It says Gene McCarthy. I should be thanking his wife, not him. All right, it is a hat.
Is it a biscuit?
It is.
It's the Pac-12!
It's a Pac-12 hat. The Pac-12 is not dead. Mack has, he was the last man standing in the war of the Pac-12 versus college athletics. Oregon State in Omaha, and now, Mack, I will ride with you. The Pac-12 is alive, and I have a hat to prove it.
Oregon State and UCLA and Arizona, 3 of the 8 teams were in the Pac-12 a year ago, and they've got 8 teams right now. They'll have 10 at least before next season.
I got a note that says, "Clip, we're still alive, Pac-12."
They signed it. That's awesome.
Yeah. This is from the league office? What is there? Where is their league office? Like a little building beside a laundromat and a Chinese food restaurant or something?
They took over the old Enron
At the
building.
press conference yesterday to discuss the details of the House settlement, there were the ACC, the Big 12, the SEC, the Big 10, and the Pac-12 commissioners were all 5 there.
You just can't kill them off. They're like cockroaches.
Exactly.
Mack,
I knew they were going to make it.
I love a gift with some thoughtfulness to it, and I appreciate it, man. I'll wear this with pride.
All right. Happy to do it.
See you, Maxter. There he is, Mack McCarthy, who you will hear about a 30-minute interview with him when we return.
Yeah, 28.
We talked. How did we talk so long with nothing going on? Because we talked a lot about the NCAA and revenue sharing and crap like that, which I don't like, but it is a necessity. So we got it all out of the way in this next conversation, and we'll get back to what's happening on the field next week. But a great conversation with Mack. If you have questions about what's going on right now with the NCAA, the new ruling, that is on the way. Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday after this.
Is your office printer on the fritz? Don't wait days for a repair. This is Walker Allen Volova with CopyPro, where we promise fast 3-hour service on all of your copy equipment. No need to press 1 for English for an overseas service line. All of our calls are answered right here in Greenville. Plus, we offer a free office printing analysis to help you cut cost and boost efficiency. We'll show you exactly how to save money on ink, toner, and energy. For reliable, fast service, call CopyPro today at 1-800-682-6558 and see how we can help your office run more efficiently. CopyPro, fast service, smarter printing, bringing more value to your business.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers. Join us today for
big, juicy wings.
All season long at Tiebreakers.
Tiebreakers, with 2 locations in Greenville and on Railroad Street in Winterville.
Homeowners can face many challenges throughout this season, but our newest New Blue star, Dixon Williams, is here to slide in and save the day. Have a clog that's hitting a foul ball and nothing seems to be getting through? Dixon's fixing to get you flowing again. Feeling like your HVAC's in a slump? Dixon's sliding in to get your comfort back on track. Are swinging blind in a power outage? Dixon is delivering a power boost. So when problems arise, turn home strikeouts into home runs with New Blue, electric, plumbing, and air.
We're inside the Pirate Radio studios with our friends from QC Kinetics. Don, why should people use QC Kinetics?
So QC Kinetics, we're the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. So we've helped about 50,000 patients get back to an active and pain-free life without surgery, without drugs, and without downtime. We leverage your body's own natural growth and healing properties to not only repair damaged tissue, but generate new.
QC Kinetics. 252-645-6458. 252-645-6458.
Jeff Stein here at Brown & Wood Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Brown & Wood's award-winning service department is open Monday through Friday. And don't forget, we have free pickup and drop-off. Every customer, when you come in for service, heavy repair, maintenance, it doesn't matter. You get a free car wash, dry, and vacuum. We've also got Tom Brown's favorite tagline, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an auto owner's independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with auto owner's insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in downtown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
It's bow time. Bojangles is shaking up breakfast with the return of its sausage Bowberry biscuit. Savory, sizzling, country-style sausage topped with a drizzle of sweet icing, served on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit stuffed with bowberries. Just when you thought you knew where breakfast was going, Bojangles flips the script. Right now, get 2 sausage Bowberry biscuits for just $5. But hurry to Bojangles, because even though breakfast is served all day, this deal is only here for a limited time. Order yours today. It's bow time.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. Let's quickly get to our Mack McCarthy interview because it is a lengthy one today. So I bang my knee on the table. But you know what? I'm going to fight through it, because that's the kind of guy I am. Here is my chat with Coach Mack. All right, joining us today, our weekly chat with Mack McCarthy, former East Carolina head basketball coach, who now, his own words, has no life. So he has time to join us on the program. How you doing, Mack?
That was more a reference to the flexibility of my schedule than the overall perspective. But yeah, I can kind of do things that at your leisure.
Well, the hours for you certainly clear up when it's not college basketball season, right? You stay pretty busy then, but a little bit of leisure time out of season, and things will crank up here in a few months with college football as well. Mack, how many remind us, how many radio programs, spots, hits are you doing these days?
Well, it slows a little bit in the summer, but I do a weekly show in Chattanooga. Usually it's on Thursdays, but in the summer we defer to golf, who likes Thursday to preview tournaments. We've got a big one this week with the U.S. Open. So we go Tuesday. So I'm on Pirate Radio Live on Tuesdays and Sport Talk on the Talk Monster in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Tuesdays.
The Monster. Good deal. Well, Mack, keeping up with what's going on in the world of sports now, and again, a bit of a lighter time, but big news in college athletics with the revenue sharing and that deal, and kind of just a revenue sharing for dummies, and I am certainly one of those dummies. But this was a big win for athletes, right?
It is a big win for athletes, and I think it's a step in the right direction. It's still going to get a lot of challenges, and I'm not sure it'll be the formal structure that we need, but it is a step in the right direction. You have revenue sharing, which is fair, and I think eventually collective bargaining will be part of this deal. But basically, the House versus NCAA, and House doesn't refer to anything about the government. It's an actual swimmer at Arizona or Arizona State who had his name put on this, for lack of a better term. And like the O'Bannon case wasn't all about O'Bannon, but his name was on the thing. But yeah, it was settled. And what it did was it allowed schools to pay up to $20.5 billion, and that number is a variable because it's a percentage, but about $20.5 million per school, which each school is going to have to come up with. And whether you opt into it, and you don't have to do the whole 20.5, but you opt in, you're playing, and if you opt out, you're not playing, and that puts you in a different category. And of course, it's different for FCS versus FBS. It's different versus basketball only schools in Division I versus non-football, versus the football schools. And then there's the back pay of this, the $28 billion or something like that to pay for student athletes since I think it was 2016. All college athletes will get something. And of course, the football players will get the majority of it because the football players have earned the majority of revenue. And what each school does with that, let's just call it $20 million, is up to each school. They can spend 90% of it on baseball if they want, since that's the hot topic right now in terms of what's going on in college sports. I guess this is the last championship we've got to decide with the 8 teams. And isn't it interesting that none of last year's 8 teams are there again? It's 8 new teams, which is a whole other subject. But when you have, I apologize for the mower going by in the background, but that goes to those student athletes, and how much they get individually is yet to be determined. Some people opted out of that settlement, and they won't get anything. They still have the right to sue separately, which will be an ongoing theme, I think. But that's kind of the overview. Now, the big piece of this, the bigger piece, in my opinion, is the NIL piece, where they have created some guidelines, some guardrails, some rules, whatever you want to call it, but they have to actually be legitimate NIL deals. They can't be just pay for play. Now, who's going to determine that? There's a commission, and there's a new head of that commission, and he came from Major League Baseball. He was in charge of the investigations unit for Major League Baseball since, I think, 2014 or 15, and he was hired by the Power Four, I think, conference commissioners, and he is in charge of that. And they've already hired an accounting firm, Deloitte, to supervise this and to decide whether each NIL deal over $600 is in compliance. Now, my problem with this is we've had rules before. We've had compliance before. We've had enforcement before. But this one, I hope, has some teeth, because in the past, the NCAA has not had the power to really enforce these since institutions and individuals started suing the NCAA. For a long time, the NCAA did have that power, but they didn't do it even-handedly, in my opinion. I think there was selective enforcement, and I think there was a lot of inconsistency, but hopefully we get that consistency this time. Now, and again, I'm not putting all this on the NCAA. The schools made the rules, and then the schools broke the rules. There's nothing to say that's not going to happen again. And one thing I want to ask you, we're talking about the House settlement in particular, but one thing I want to ask you as it goes to your viewership or opinion or how you consume college sports, which of these three things has had the biggest impact? The NIL, transfer portal, or conference realignment? And you don't have to give me an answer right now, but I'll be really interested in our listeners' opinion about which of those things has impacted them the most in terms of how they view or how they feel about college sports.
That is a fantastic question, because each time you gave me an option, an answer to pick, I said, yeah, that one. And then you would say the next one, and I'd say, no, that one. And then you said the last one, and I said, oh, it's that one. So, yeah, I got some thinking to do on that one, Mac, and I like that. We'll put that out to our audience as well. I started, and that was a great explanation of everything, Coach Mack, and I hate this stuff, but I need to at least be halfway educated on it, I reckon. I just kind of want to watch games, but there's a lot more to it than that. But I started with a statement / question. This is a win for the athletes. Well, who else is it a win for? Who is it a loss for? Like, is anything changed with Power 4 versus Group of 5? And, I mean, is everything going to stay the same with that, or will we see changes due to this new settlement?
There are going to be changes, and the main thing it's a loss for is the university athletic departments as a whole. They have to come up with this new revenue, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for what they have to spend. Because along with this, there are no scholarship limits anymore. There are roster limitations, and that's going to go from whatever it is, 85 in football to 105. That's 20 new scholarships. Baseball's going from I think 11.7 to 34. There are a lot of sports that are going to increase the number of scholarships based on the roster limit, and that's going to be a huge expense. And you think about it at a private school, for instance, where room, board, books, tuition could be almost six figures, and they're going to have to come up with that money should they choose to participate fully. Now, there's nothing mandating that, but you also don't want to be at any kind of competitive disadvantage, no matter what league you're in, what sport you're talking about.
So as far as is NIL like the cherry on top now? Like you get your money, and now, all right, well give me the. I kind of described it as the settlement deal. The revenue sharing is your salary for the athletes, right. And is the NIL like the signing bonus kind of?
Sort of. And let me give you some stats on the NIL piece. There are two ways to get NIL right now. There are public traded companies that are doing NIL deals, and then there are just individuals, boosters that are paying players.
Yeah.
Now, they have studied the ones that they have access to across the board, and of the public traded companies that are doing NIL deals, about 80 or 90% of those would fit the new guidelines. They would almost all be accepted and regarded as legal going forward. The problem is the others, the pay for play, the individuals, the boosters, the ones that are doing it just philanthropically or out of their own self-interest. Those, about 30% would be legal. Yeah. So there's a lot of cleaning up to do. And again, we also have the problem that every state law is different. There are literally 50 different state laws going on that impact this. For instance, in Tennessee, they just said, it doesn't matter what the NCAA says, you can do what you want in terms of NIL.
Yeah, right. And So what does that mean? Like when Tennessee plays Florida and Tennessee's doing something that Florida isn't, is it just more lawsuits in the future, or I mean, what
Well,
does it look like?
here's one of the benefits if they can pull this off. The Power Four has come together and said, these are the rules. If you accept these rules, you will abide by our rules regardless of what your state laws say.
Right.
But again, that's going to stir up the pot legally, and you're going to have challenges all along the line. One further thing that the states have going on that is going to be different across the board, and I don't see a real solution to this one, is they're also treating that money differently when it comes to taxes. And you got a tax rate in California of whatever it is. Let's just say 50%. That's not it, but it's very high. And then you have places without income tax, like a Tennessee or a Florida. So those states already have a built-in advantage too. So it's going to be really interesting what happens in the next few months going forward.
So when you say like you have the option to opt in to this new landscape, like say a school just can't keep up or whatever that is a Division I school right now, use like Eastern Michigan from the Mack or something, and they say we can't do this. What happens to them? Do they drop down a level? Do they cease to compete in D1 athletics? Like is that what you're saying by the option thing?
Yeah, well, no, they won't. They'll still be Division I, but they won't be very competitive.
Oh, so you're still playing? You just okay,
yeah. In that regard, you're still playing. Now the NIL thing is different because the Power Four have said if you opt into this from that perspective, from the NIL rules, then you have to be. Because, for instance, if Tennessee says no, we're going to go with the state law, the SEC can say we no longer will compete against you.
Gotcha. All right. Mack McCarthy joining us, talking about all the boring minutia that that is college athletics these days. But that is good information, Mack, and I appreciate you bringing it to me and to our audience. Cliff Godwin last week, speaking of NIL, had a tweet that said, Power Four coaches, I don't want to paraphrase, I want to hit it exactly. It was Power Four. Our system is broken. We have coaches at Power Four schools texting our players directly who are not in portal, and we have proof. And we've talked about this a lot since that tweet was made. And does it stop here? Does he do something formally? Does he continue to bring this up and hope that somehow there will be a public outcry? I don't know what the end game is here, but Mack, we know it goes on, but who's going to stop it? I mean, I think for it to stop, you would need like a SEC or Big Ten coach calling it out, right? Like if an East Carolina does it, or even if somebody at Virginia or Texas Tech does it, who's not in the Big Ten or not in the SEC. I don't even know if it really matters that much.
Yeah, and that goes back to the following of the rules and abiding by the rules that we talked about before. We've had rules in place against tampering, but that's never been enforced to my knowledge. And of the guardrails and guidelines that they've put in to deal with NIL going forward, none of that seems to be attached to that. And I don't know of anything that they've done to the portal whatsoever in this House settlement. To my knowledge, it was not addressed at all in the House settlement.
Yeah. Well, if you make the rules, you get to break the rules, right?
Well, that's been the way it has been for years and years, and now everyone is saying we need rules, we want rules. Well, we'll see if you want them, because you're going to have to call out your schools and your league if you really want to abide by. But I've been in this thing a long time. I started in the 70s, and I can tell you there were plenty of rules, but there were also plenty of people willing to break those rules.
Yeah, and it's interesting who gets the consequences and who doesn't. Like the biggest, what are the biggest penalties ever, Mack, in college sports? You think about SMU, obviously, death penalty. UNLV kind of got their comeuppance after their championship and Final Four run. But like, does it has a big school like one of these power schools ever faced major consequences?
I don't remember any. I know Southwest Louisiana got in big trouble. New Mexico got in big trouble. SMU got in big trouble. But like a guy at a barbecue joint told me one time, Coach, money gets you in trouble. Money gets you out.
You have a lot of quotes regarding money, Mac.
I do. I don't have any money, but I've got quotes.
Well, I was going to call you Money Mac, but you don't have any money, so I can't. Mac McCarthy joining us. You did send me that stat. I didn't realize it till I saw it till you sent it to me, Coach, that all new field in the College World Series this year. And I believe I saw with Murray State winning last night, 4 preseason unranked teams in Omaha this year.
Yeah, it's got some really good stories. I don't know whether it'll have the sex appeal of the big names, but it's pretty clear cut. The LSU and Arkansas are the overwhelming favorites, with maybe Oregon State having a chance. I don't know about UCLA or Louisville, but you get the feeling some of those folks will just be happy to be there. But the one exception might be Coastal, who bumped the Pirates out by the slimmest of margins, and they're going for their second time. And the first time that they went there, it went pretty well. But yeah, lots of unknowns. And speaking of unknowns, I hate to segue into football, but I was looking at a top 10 poll the other day, top 25 poll the other day. And of the top 10, and they're all the usual suspects to copy the movie of the same name. 9 of the 10 teams that are in the top 10 in preseason have new quarterbacks. I don't know that that's ever been done. And you're betting an awful lot on a quarterback who is unproven, or, maybe he's got a great reputation or a great name like a Manning, or a little bit of sample size to like Gunner at Georgia. But that seems to be a little top heavy with just going with the same names, despite the fact that there are an awful lot of new quarterbacks in places that they weren't a year ago. So maybe in football we'll have a similar kind of situation that we have in baseball.
Yeah, these quarterbacks are now like mercenaries, like basically, right? They get called in for 1 year, and we're going to give you this. You go take down all those opponents and win us a championship. Mac, who is the Kaiser Sose of? I don't know if I'm using the analogy right. Who's the Kevin Spacey character of this college football season? Who's the team that nobody's looking at right now that's going to be limping out of the police station and eventually walking?
You used it right.
So is he Kaiser Sose? But who's Verbal Kent? Was that his name?
I know Kevin Spacey was Kaiser Sose.
Mac, who's Kaiser Sose?
I don't know. The one that has kind of amazed me, even though they're getting quite a bit of love, but based on how many they've got coming back and the fact that they're the only team in the top 10 preseason that has a returning quarterback who's got a little bit of success in his resume, is Penn State. I think everybody just sees his record against the top 5 teams, James Franklin's record, and says, "Nah, we can't put them all the way up there." But if you do it based on how many people are coming back and the fact that you've got a proven leader at quarterback, and the schedule is fairly favorable, I'm surprised almost nobody is picking them to win the whole thing.
Well, I mean, we can figure out their record right now, Mac. Let's see. Undefeated,
Okay.
undefeated. All right, they'll beat Oregon, but then they'll lose at Ohio State. Do they play Michigan? Maybe they'll lose to Oregon. It's either 10-2 or 11-1, and then we'll see what happens in the playoff. They're going to beat everybody except Ohio State / Oregon.
It's possible. It's possible.
Where is BYU in the rankings you're looking at, Mac? Because we'll see them in Greenville this year.
Yeah, different people have them in the top 25. Some people don't, but they're going to be pretty good. I can't imagine. When do they come to Greenville?
Week 4, and
September 20th.
I've seen them in some like way too early stuff on ESPN and power polls and all that, like top 10, top 15.
I haven't seen them in the top 10, but they should certainly be ranked by the time they come to Greenville.
Yeah, they play 2 weak opponents, right, Jarrett?
I think it's Portland State and Stanford.
Stanford, yeah. So East Carolina opens up with State on the road. They got Campbell, they got Coastal, and man, I live for like the build up. Like my favorite thing I do at Pirate Radio is the 4-hour Bud Light pregame tailgate because we're watching games, we're previewing games, everybody's optimistic, and we don't get too many. But like you give me a top 25 opponent here in Dowdy Ficklin Stadium and East Carolina with an opportunity to jump in the top 25 maybe if you win that game and you've already beaten State on the road. It sets up for a really fun week and a really fun Saturday until the final whistle's blown anyway.
Yeah, I'd love to do the pregame one time. I really would. I might like to do the postgame one time too, but only if you can harass the callers.
You've come to the right place. Mack, I would love to have you here for Saturday. We'll feed you, and we'll watch games. And, hell, East Carolina's got a lot of night games scheduled for right now, which is bad as far as when we leave, but good as far as the pregame because we got multiple TVs going and updates, and it's a lot of fun. So if you want to get away for a Saturday, you just let me know, man.
See, I'm a little bit skeptical because we did a live viewing of a basketball game against Florida.
Yeah.
And I was promised cheese biscuits and all this, and we didn't have anything. We had nothing. I think there was some stale. I think there were some stale cupcakes and bottles of water. Is all that was there.
Hell, okay. You have right to be hesitant, but this time, Mack, I promise. All right, let's talk NASCAR real quick, Jarrett. What's going on?
A good race, I thought, this past weekend.
Why? Because your guy won?
No, I mean, all the stuff at the end. Hocevar's leading, blows out a tire. Byron and Hamlin going at it neck and neck, and then Byron runs out of gas. I didn't really care who won. It just as long as we get an exciting finish like that, I'm in.
One thing I did see on Sunday, let me timestamp this, 7:49 p.m., Shannon Spake said, "Why is everyone talking so loud?" Which I found interesting because she is Fox, right?
Yeah.
She's also attractive, but I didn't mean that as a Fox. But she's, I guess, maybe saying what you guys are saying as far as the broadcast goes.
Anybody working for Fox should not be taking shots at anybody else's NASCAR broadcast.
She's with the Hornets too, so watch what you say.
They suck too, all right?
Whoa!
Look, yeah, you can have your criticisms of the Prime broadcast, but anybody from Fox should not be taking shots.
Boogity, 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 Jarrett.
Well, Darrell Waltrip's not there anymore.
All right, what happened in the race? Who won?
Denny Hamlin won, so that's 3 points for me. I had the best average. All my guys finished 13th or better.
Wow.
So I got that. So, yeah, new leader. I'm in the lead now.
New leader.
You had a DNF. Alex Bowman, pretty nasty wreck there, Mac.
Yeah, I was worried about that, to be honest. I mean, he was accelerating up off the corner and got bumped and turned head onto that outside wall. And he said it was the worst lick he's ever taken, and he's been in some big wrecks. But I'm like you, Jared. I think you nailed the broadcast breakdown, and I think you nailed the race breakdown. And I love some. A lot of folks don't like when it gets down to a gas mileage race, but I tell you what, I was on the edge of my seat, and my guys had all succumbed to bad pit stops or just bad strategy, and they actually had good enough cars to win. But I was still right on the edge of my seat as to who was going to win, and I didn't have a dog in the hunt either. I was just enjoying good racing.
Yeah, and Dale Jr. had a line that kind of made me laugh. They're like, gas mileage getting low here. Do you make a stop? He's like, nope, I'm going. I'd rather run out of gas and finish 20th. Like, that made me laugh.
He had a couple things, and again, a couple things he just absolutely whiffed on.
All right, so guys, this week we're
Mexico City,
driving over the wall and heading to Mexico.
Road course.
All right, another road course. I know Mack loves that.
I think 3 of the next 4 maybe, and I'm going to be in a bad mood.
Yeah, Mexico City, Pocono, and Chicago. The only one you get's Atlanta that's not a road course.
Why has Mack been so cranky the last month? Everything all right at home? Yeah. They're just running road courses.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Shane Van Gisbergen might win 3 of the next 4, honestly.
I hope he does.
All right. What else is going on, Mack? You watched any NBA finals at all?
Nah, it's 1-1 or something like that. And hockey, they had a brawl, and it's not the Penguins. You all told me wrong last time, or I guessed wrong, or whatever.
Okay, you guessed wrong. We didn't tell you the Penguins are in the final. Speaking of suing people, we need to sue Mack for all this slander.
Defamation.
We make ourselves look dumb enough, Mack. We don't need you making up stuff that we say.
And next week we can talk about the U.S. Open at Oakmont, which is a great course. It's a wonderful course, a historically good course. It's going to be really, really tough. We're going to see high scores, and we're going to see guys that look like us out there playing in the rough and the greens and that kind of thing. But on top of all that, how many great courses have an interstate running right through the middle of it?
Huh. Unaware of that. I'll check that out. Interesting. And awesome question too, Mack, that I'll be bringing up with folks, and we'll throw it out there.
Good.
How did you word? I know the options to choose. How did you word the question? What has affected your?
What's had the biggest impact on your opinion or how you view college athletics?
Yeah, and you said NIL, transfer portal, or conference realignment. Very thought-provoking question. Mack, appreciate you joining us, man. Have a good week, and we'll check in with you next Tuesday.
We're on baby countdown. That baby hopefully will be here before our next show.
Wait, that's not what you're sending me here. My surprise, right?
Not even close.
Well, congratulate. Hope everybody's going to be healthy and happy.
All right, there he is, Mack McCarthy. A good breakdown of what's going on right now in college athletics and more. Let's take a break. We'll come back. More to go. Hour 2, Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
If you're looking for a delicious home-cooked country breakfast or lunch, look no further than CD's Grill. CD's Grill in Winterville has the best country cooking around. Start your day with CD's mouth-watering homemade cheese biscuits, eggs cooked to order, and pancakes so big and fluffy there's no way you leave hungry. Open Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. and Saturday from 5:30 to 11 a.m. CD's has lunch specials and an all-you-can-eat salad bar. Stop by, say hey to owner Jason Brown and the CD's crew. CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville. CD's Grill, the best country cooking around.
At Children's Health Services, we understand the importance of your child's well-being. This is Dr. Chris Osmick, and our mission is to provide comprehensive, patient-centered health care through every stage of child development, starting the day they are born in the hospital. We are not just here to treat illnesses. We are here to partner with you on your child's health journey. Schedule your appointment today to build a brighter, healthier world for your children. Children's Health Services, Arlington Boulevard, Greenville, or soon to be our second location on 10th Street. Go Pirates!
If you're hungry for a great steak with honest-to-goodness flavor, head over to Larry's Steakhouse, open Monday through Saturday at 11 a.m., serving up hand-cut, aged ribeyes, tender grilled salmon, bold grilled shrimp, and juicy grilled pork chops, all right off the flame. Pile your plate high with a 25-item salad bar. Try one of our hearty daily lunch specials. Larry's Steakhouse, good food, good folks, and a good time. Located at 2800 East 10th Street across from the old Highway Patrol Station. Call 751-6510 for takeout and reservation. Nation's Larry Steakhouse.
Here at the Holistic Company, we know that life throws you its fair share of curveballs. Like passing that drug test, congrats. Now you can finally relax, kick back, and, well, light one up. You've earned it. With weekly events like trivia, karaoke, comedy, open mic, movie night, and, of course, all your favorites: flour, merch, carts, edibles, and wellness products. Whatever you need to legally take the edge off, we've got your vibe covered. Order online at theholisticco.com or visit us at 5th and Evans in Greenville or at one of our other 2 locations in Fremont or Smithfield. The Holistic Company.
Is your office printer on the fritz? Don't wait days for a repair. This is Walker Allen Volova with CopyPro, where we promise fast 3-hour service on all of your copy equipment. No need to press 1 for English for an overseas service line. All of our calls are answered right here in Greenville. Plus, we offer a free office printing analysis to help you cut cost and boost efficiency. We'll show you exactly how to save money on ink, toner, and energy. For reliable, fast service, call CopyPro today at 1-800-682-6558 and see how we can help your office run more efficiently. CopyPro, fast service, smarter printing, bringing more value to your business.
This is Holt Nailers for my friends at Anson Belts, the belts that I wear. Go to ansonbelt.com to find micro-adjustable holeless belts with over 30-plus options of a 1/4 inch apart instead of your typical 5 holes 1 inch apart, always giving you the perfect fit every time. If your waist fluctuates, Anson Belt is great because you can always find the perfect fit any time of the year. ansonbelt.com, over 10,000 combinations to choose from, a belt for every occasion, and the official belt of the Holt Nailers Show.
Planning a special event, whether it's a baby shower, bridal luncheon, birthday party, or even a tailgate at Clark LeClaire Stadium, Chicken Salad Chick has you covered. Their fan favorite mini croissant platters is just one of many options to choose from, perfect for any occasion. With a variety of chicken salad flavors, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Let us do the work while you enjoy the event. Delicious, fresh, and served with a smile. Chicken Salad Chick Catering. Make every event memorable. Visit chickensaladchick.com to place your catering order. Just remember, you pick it up and we'll have it ready to go. Chicken Salad Chick, where every event is a little bit tastier.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Cliff.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. We got Jarrett Watkins, also known as J-Bone from Pirate Radio.
Jarrett Watkins, also known as J-Bone.
So, Bone, you said you had an NFL topic for today's show?
Yeah, and before we get into that, there was an announcement by ECU Baseball of a return. Nick Moran.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Good deal.
Yeah.
I thought earlier today he was gone.
No. He even commented on that post, said, I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
Nope.
Did we force that announcement that he was returning here at Pirate Radio?
I don't think ECU Baseball Twitter's throwing shade, but it was a very well-timed post.
Yeah. Good to hear. Nick Moran coming back. All right.
But yeah, NFL, the Bengals, being the Bengals.
How so?
Shamar Stewart, their first round selection, defensive end. He has been holding out and not really sure what's been going on there, but a lot of stuff's come out today.
When I hear the name Shamar Stewart, Shirley, I think of the gentleman that was on Young and the Restless and Criminal Minds. Do you know that all the ladies love?
Shamar Moore.
Okay. I apologize.
Yeah, no relation.
No relation. Okay.
But they asked him about it today, and he said, I'm 100% right. It should be a no-brainer. In Trey Hendrickson's case, it should be a no-brainer, too. I'm not asking for nothing y'all have never done before, but y'all, as in the Bengals, just want to win arguments more than winning games, in my opinion, which is really what you want to hear from a guy you just brought in.
Y'all petty.
And they were talking about it on the Pat McAfee show and pulled up an article from Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio, and they're trying to wedge in a new clause that has never been done before in the NFL to where a default in any given year would void all remaining guarantees, and prior situations would wipe out just the guarantees for that year. So they're trying to screw them out of some money, and they're not taking it.
Before we move on, I just want to say I'm all smiles right now. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm fine. If Washington screws around with Terry McLaurin, I might seriously be done.
Wow.
They did all this work to get me and everybody back in, and if they screw this up, then it's just a repeat of everything that's happened the last 20 years.
Well,
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, and the Commanders are even in their Dan Snyder years, not as bad as the Bengals have been forever. The Bengals will always be the Bungles. But I think with the Washington thing, it's just summer, slow news.
This
is going to be the big story.
I'm cool, and I'm fine, and he'll be fine, and he'll be a Commander for life.
Yeah, I mean, everything over the last year in Washington has been ran so well. I think they're just taking their time to figure out the years and the money, and the media is just running wild with it because there's nothing to talk about. Other than Aaron Rodgers getting married.
I don't want to even get that much into it. I just want to say that he has been a good soldier through the years, and now finally is reaping some success on the field in terms of wins, and he deserves whatever. Make him part owner, whatever.
Yeah, make him part owner.
Yeah, give him whatever. He is. He deserves it all. All right, so this Stewart, how long do you think this drags out?
I mean, just given how the Bengals operate, I would say well into the preseason.
So I wanted to look up longest and most memorable holdouts by rookies, because I remember it somewhat, hearing about it coming up, but I don't feel like I've heard about it recently.
But a lot of these are, like we went over it during the break, it's just money stuff. This is not money. The money is there. It's just they want to take it away if there's one little thing.
So it is money.
It's really just the wording of the contract. It's not the base salary, which is what a lot of these guys have argued over the last few instances.
So I was looking up the longest rookie holdouts of recent note. Joey Bosa, 2016. His holdout went into the preseason.
Yeah.
Cam Chancellor, in 2015, his holdout went into the regular season. Michael Crabtree, sorry receiver like Crabtree, his holdout went all the way to week 5. He didn't play till week 5 of the NFL season. I don't remember I feel like it hasn't happened in a while. Darrelle Revis had a long holdout that also took him. Let's see, he wanted money and was traded. Although, was this when he was a rookie? No, these aren't all rookie, but this Jamarcus Russell's number 1. And were you watching the Raiders when they had Jamarcus Russell?
I don't think so.
It was a little before your time.
I was really just watching whatever game was on Fox or CBS.
He skipped all the team's offseason and preseason work, as well as the regular season opener.
Well, even after the holdout, he still did a lot of that stuff. So
it said he boycotted more time than any rookie in 5 years and any number 1 pick had in more than 2 decades. And it showed.
Yeah, it worked out for him.
He is looked at as one of the biggest busts of all time.
I still think about when he was on The Pivot, the Ryan Clark show, that podcast, and he was like I'll go down in the history books because I was the biggest bust of all time. It's you're proud of that?
Well, everybody wants to be the best at something.
He's not the best at anything.
He's the best at being the worst, which some would call the worst. He's the best bust of all time.
No. Jameis Winston's the best bust of all time.
We need to get Jeff Nadeau on to ask who is the best, the best bust of all time.
Yeah. By the way, new haircut video just dropped. Yeah, I got what you said.
I saw that. I also got a DM from Zach. Zach Kaplan. And he sent me a Jeff Nadeau tweet about Jeff saying, "I'm the best college football bettor out there. you're not me and will never be me.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach said, is this guy just nuts? I said, yeah.
Is he unfamiliar with
Just
everything?
nuts, and they do,
That's
man.
nuts.
Didn't he box Rico Bosco?
He boxed Jersey Jerry.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, Zach, he's nuts. But he knows college football and college basketball, which is why we have him on.
Done and dusted.
Jamie says Ryan Leaf, biggest bust of all time.
Mm.
Now, he was the number 2 pick and not the number 1 pick. When I think of Ryan Leaf, I think of him in the locker room telling the reporter to knock it off. I want to hear Ryan Leaf say, knock it off. Knock it off!
I don't know this.
All right. Let's see. Ryan Leaf.
Don't talk to me, all right? Knock it off! Don't talk to me, all right? Knock it off!
Knock it off!
Don't talk to me!
Yelling in a reporter's face.
I mean, come on.
He had some issues. I'm ready for that one time where we get yelled at by somebody.
Yeah. Well, it's like you see all these things, like stories like that, and you're like, okay, you think about it for a day. I didn't realize like how much time it goes on these stories until last week with the Kevin O'Sullivan stuff.
Right. But I feel like we're in a different era now where the news cycle, there's so much video and like there's going to be a news story.
But I mean, was that at Washington State?
No, this was San Diego Chargers early on.
You know, like that went on for
a
good while in the San Diego radio site. Spot.
Sure. But like, I don't know. Are people going to remember Kevin O'Sullivan years from now?
In Greenville, yes.
Yeah, here maybe.
In Coastal, yes.
But I don't know. Back then, we just didn't have all the like. There's a new dumb news story every day. That's not even really a story. It's like
some caribou or something.
Exactly.
Some lady goes missing.
Well, that happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think that's valid news. We need to find our missing people.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying that, but I mean, bring it to me well into the story, not, hey, some lady's gone. She could be at the laundromat for all we know. You haven't heard from her 24 hours. Like, I go a long time without hearing from people.
When you think of women, you think of them doing laundry and household things.
It wasn't specific to women. When anybody goes missing, they could be at the laundromat.
But probably a woman, more than likely.
No.
Shirley, how do you sit beside a misogynist like Jared every day?
What?
Does it bother you?
I just tune him out.
Yeah.
I'm not a misogynist.
You know that word.
I love all broads, all right?
Since when do you use the word broad?
Well, we were talking about Nadeau and just brought the word into my mind.
Do you think the word misogynist means someone that gives massages? I think that's what you think that word means.
Jared Watkins, also known as J-Bone.
It should. And masseuse should be like a moose trainer or something.
You know what? I think I'm on board with that. Some of these words should have different meanings.
Also, we have another returning.
Somebody you were talking about earlier.
I was wondering if this was going to drop.
And it did.
Alex Peltier.
Yep.
Back at it again with the high socks.
Mm-hmm.
And them skinny legs.
Yep. Made some great contact during the regional. Good at bats. Been pretty reliable in center field, except for like one or two instances.
Man, for where we are in this college sports landscape, I feel like we've had a decent haul of returners.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you look at who's coming back, all we really need is depth. So,
yeah.
I mean, I just like, more relief guys.
We need a key starting middle infielder.
Yeah. But I mean,
and like 3 starting pitchers.
I mean, we got Norby and Sean Jenkins. There's 2. Towers and Antolik if they come back.
I know, but we need 3 more because
yeah, I mean, obviously
it never works out the way you want it to.
The ball doesn't always bounce your way.
Pirates did land a pitcher today. We'll recap our top stories coming up at 5 with all the latest baseball news and notes. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour 2. We got Bryce Williams and some Big Rock talk coming up in hour 3. More to go. Pirate Radio Live after this time out.
Calling all young artists, dancers, gamers, and dreamers. Registration is now open for Building Hope's 5-week creative arts camp, where imagination meets inspiration. Camp includes a weekly field trip, swim days, 2 meals, and 2 snacks daily. Only $40 to register and $80 per week. Plus, sibling discounts are available. Spots are filling up fast, and camp starts June 30th. Register today at buildinghopenc.org.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 38-ounce lime margarita for only $7.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
At Langley Contracting, we're superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, we've got you covered. And best of all, we handle your insurance claims. We are locally owned right here in Eastern Carolina. We are licensed and insured and have a 25-year roof warranty. We can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Call or visit us online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today.
Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialist.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in ENC. Open at noon 7 days a week with live music. Come enjoy sports trivia with me, Clip Rock, every Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's live local acoustic night, along with line dancing from 7 to 9 on Wednesday. Thursday, there's a brand new lineup with Singo starting at 8, followed by karaoke with DJ Dog. Ladies and free both Friday and Saturday nights with the best local bands in the area. Finish the weekend with free games and DJ Kid Scene.
Y'all come get bucked up.
This is proud ECU alumni David Price of David Price Construction. As a leading general contracting firm, we specialize in commercial construction and renovation. Whether it's updating your office space, renovating your restaurant, or building a new retail store, our team at David Price Construction is ready to assist. We are committed to delivering quality, value, and customer satisfaction across all of our projects. So give us a call at 919-820-3612 or find us online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Go Pirates.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today? And then you hear,
Warren's hot dogs.
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for $7.50 would be awesome.
Warren's hot dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's hot dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
Here it is, a first down. Pirates.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Caleb Stroud of Stroud's Marine grew up on the water and has loved boating his entire life. That's why in 2012 he decided to give back to the marine community by creating a way for boaters to order pre-owned, salvaged marine parts online. Stroud's Marine was born to offer incredible prices and unparalleled customer service. Their mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Visit StroudsMarine.com today for more information. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvaged outboard parts. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Aaron Rodgers spoke today, for those interested. Had some glowing praise for Mike Tomlin. Said that he will shadow Will Howard and help him become a professional quarterback. That is one thing about Rodgers in the documentary. He kind of learned from his situation with Brett Favre, even though his career kind of mirrors Brett Favre in a lot of ways. But he learned from the situation where, I don't know if Favre was a complete jerk to him, but kind of seemed like he had no use for Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers seemed to be a pretty good mentor to Jordan Love, and sounds like Will Howard is going to get that same kind of thing. And I saw Kurt Benkert, who, of course, was in Green Bay, tweeted out something about the Rodgers-Howard dynamic. And let me get his words right so I don't paraphrase. Will Howard just walked into the best situation he ever could have asked for. Pittsburgh's investment is worth far past whatever they end up paying Aaron for this season. Him basically saying there that Howard's got a good mentor in Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think this is going to be nothing but beneficial for Will Howard, but just like with the Rodgers love, Favre Rodgers thing, I get kind of being a jerk there. I know Aaron Rodgers wasn't a jerk with Jordan Love, but with Brett Favre, I get that because it's like, hey, we're going to get rid of you in a year. Train your replacement.
I know. That's a weird spot. It's like you're going to eventually take over Pirate Radio Live, and I don't know how much I want to teach you the ways and how much I want to like sabotage and set you up for failure.
Yeah, I think you could do a little bit of both without setting me up for failure. Train me to where I'm good enough, but not good enough to take your job.
Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Is that for real?
Yep.
Nice.
Let me make sure I got those numbers right. Proverbs 22:6.
That's good if it's off the dome. Like
train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
All right. There you go.
I think that's my favorite Bible verse. For some reason, I had to memorize that. I was in Bible Bowl. People forget.
You were in a bowl game?
I did make a bowl game. Bible Bowl with Rhudy Branch Church back in the day.
Nice.
And everything about Rodgers, all the odd, however you want to categorize and describe his actions, you will not hear many folks say he was not a good teammate. Like, the team loves the guy.
I still don't get like a lot of the hate towards him.
Well, the hate maybe, but questioning him.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
But I mean, the whole thing with like the vaccine, he's like, I can't take it because I'm allergic to one of the ingredients. And everybody's like, oh, you piece of crap. Like, you don't care about everybody. Like, calm down a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't know if I really cared that much about it, but he basically lied. But his whole team knew that he was not vaccinated.
He never really lied. He said, I'm immunized. That's not a lie. He never said he was vaccinated.
He led people to believe he was vaccinated.
People shouldn't assume.
True. Everybody is at fault here.
Yes.
No, I totally agree with your argument. I enjoy watching law programs and proceedings, and I'm big on specifics there.
And also, do you want every single quarterback in the NFL to be buttoned up and, company man?
No.
I want a long-haired hippie who questions authority.
We need something like that.
Yeah, it creates for stories and just fun conversations.
And a lot of folks, let's take a break. Why can't everybody be Barry Sanders? Just score a touchdown. I'll act like you've been there before. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's a good way to do it. Another good way to do it is
humping the ground.
Humping the ground, or Steve Smith wiping the ball as it's a baby's arse.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of different ways to do it.
And that's what makes the NFL so great.
And it'll be here soon enough. We'll take a break. We'll talk to a guy that tried to make it in the NFL. He got to hang out with Tom Brady. That's pretty cool. Bryce Williams will join us. We'll talk football. We'll talk fishing. We'll talk to a gentleman fishing in the Big Rock with East Carolina ties. We got that. Pirate Radio Outdoors, Fleet Feet Rundown, and more. Back with you, hour 3 after this.
Looking for the perfect summer hangout? Swing by Fish Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room for our Midday Munchies lunch menu, just $10.25 Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 3. We've got 46 cold draft beers, a killer Sunday brunch from 9 to 12:30, and our regular menu every Sunday, noon to 7. Your new Sunday Fun Day destination. Enjoy live music every Friday and Saturday, 7 to 10 p.m., and follow us on social media for more events. Check out the Repair Shop game room with pool tables, darts, and more, or kick back on our dog-friendly patio with the best staff in town. We're serving up good vibes at Fish Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room all summer long, where good times are always on tap.
Stella Artois is a world-renowned Belgian beer with over 650 years of brewing heritage. Stella's rich, full flavor and smooth finish is perfect for making moments worth more. Stella's non-alcohol option, Stella 0.0, offers the same iconic taste without the alcohol, ideal for those looking to enjoy Stella anytime. Stella, whether celebrating big or small, Stella is the perfect choice for elevating the everyday. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Homeowners can face many challenges throughout this season, but our newest New Blue star, Dixon Williams, is here to slide in and save the day. Have a clog that's hitting a foul ball and nothing seems to be getting through? Dixon's fixing to get you flowing again. Feeling like your HVAC's in a slump? Dixon's sliding in to get your comfort back on track. Are swinging blind in a power outage? Dixon is delivering a power boost. So when problems arise, turn home strikeouts into home runs with New Blue electric, plumbing, and air.
Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. Wings Over delivers. If you're looking for wings to be delivered to your home, Wings Over Greenville has you covered with no third party needed. Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Open till 3 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Wings Over has everything to cure those late night munchies. Give them a call at 758-9464. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
You don't have to choose between comfort and capability when you're behind the wheel of a 2025 Honda Pioneer 704. Rugged and reliable, it delivers the power you need on the job, the smooth shifting you want on the trail. And with Honda's exclusive quick flip seating, you get the versatility of seating 4 passengers or stowing the back seats for a full cargo bed. See the latest Honda Pioneer 704 today at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 16 and older.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Parker Bird for my friends at Shimmer Boutique. New spring arrivals are here from all your favorite brands like Kinder Scott, Yeti, Local Boy, Pimp Shrimp, Simply Southern, and a lot more. Shop now at shimmerboutiqueonline.com and receive free shipping on all orders over $100. And don't forget, Shimmer is your place to get your very own Parker Bird shirt, available in youth and adult sizes. Shimmer in Greenville, Winterville, Jacksonville, and shimmerboutiqueonline.com. Go Pirates.
Are you tired of dealing with IT headaches? Does this sound familiar? Slow computers, constant crashes, long wait times for IT support, and worries about cybersecurity. If you're nodding your head, it's time to call cybersharks.net. We handle IT so you can focus on growing your business. Fast, reliable, and always there when you need us. Call 321-7800 today and get IT support that actually works. Cybersharks.net. We keep your business swimming.
Big news from the Rick House. The Rick House has a brand new menu that you're absolutely going to love. New on the menu are creamy garlic parm chicken pasta, crab cakes, and our new porterhouse, half filet, half strip, tender and juicy, and grilled to perfection. The Rick House is the area's bourbon authority, featuring Willet, Jefferson Tropics, and the Frank Sinatra Select by Jack Daniels. The new menu features new, lower prices and $4 drafts all summer long. The Rick House, Red Banks Road in Greenville.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Brown & Wood is your home of the best selection of GMC, Cadillac, Buick, and Mazda in Eastern North Carolina since 1937. Shop their entire inventory online at brownandwoodauto.com or visit them on Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, Greenville's #1 dealership and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. We'll have a fun segment with Bryce Williams as he tries to figure out who the hell's in the NFL and where they're playing. This is his first look at the Aaron Rodgers news. But before we get to that, our top ECU baseball stories and some fishing talk. We got to hear the intro.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I saw the light. I was baptized by the fire in your touch and the flame in your eyes. I'm born to love again. I'm a brand new man. We'll contact your buddy during the break, Bryce.
That's right. I'll just transfer the number to Shirley over there.
Sure. Or you can make the call, or we can get old J-Bone to do it. However you want. We can do a group call.
Jarrett Watkins, also known as J-Bone.
Jarrett was on the news.
For good reasons.
Yeah, and he didn't get arrested. He was doing the PA for the Greenville Yard Gnomes. There's a video of it right there. But J-Bone got on the news. I pulled my phone out to show you what was going on yesterday at Pirate Radio. Cooper Greer.
Oh, he showed up.
Live in studio.
Nice.
Yeah. And played a new song called Mustang that I got to say, certified hit.
Yeah, banger.
It's number 1 on the Pirate Radio charts right now.
Yes, the best song we've played all week.
Yeah.
Nice.
But Cooper Greer will be at King Mack's coming up. It's an awesome party that they got going on. Don't miss Rock the Landing featuring Cooper Greer on Saturday from 1 to 4. So whether you are reeling in a big marlin at the beach this week, soaking up the sun, or soaking up some rain, you can grab a bite, catch a band, and make your summer legendary at King Mackerel's. They are partying all week, Bryce, on the waterfront in Morehead City.
Yeah, tickets $20 to Rock the Landing.
$20, and Cooper's got some new music he's going to roll out, so he's excited, ready to go. All right, Jarrett, let's update the listeners just getting out of work, and also updating Bryce Williams on what's going on right now with Pirate Baseball, because we have some exits to the program, but more importantly, some addition and some retention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bradley Zayak, guy who lights out in the Coastal game in the regional final, he is entering the transfer portal. Nick Moran, who did not enter the portal, is returning. Alex Peltier, announced earlier, he will be returning as well. And they add a guy from the portal, right-hander pitcher from Liberty, Joseph Webb.
Bryce, it's been a lot more good news than bad news since you were here last week. The return of our cornerstone lefty, Ethan Norby, who we will have on the show at some point next week. The return of
Colby Wallace,
slugging first baseman Austin Irby, who had a monster postseason. The return at the hot corner from our guy Colby Wallace. So a lot of returning announcements rather than defections.
Well, that's nice.
And I think that the number of exits is going to far outweigh the number of returners in volume, but as far as in quantity, but as far as quality goes, I really like what we have coming back next year.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Well, that is good. Knowing we got a handful of guys that want, I guess you say, stay loyal to the program and finish out being a Pirate.
Yeah,
Nice.
and some of them getting a little cash along the way.
I'm sure.
I meant to bring up Bryce with Mack earlier today. Did he say there was a retroactive thing with this revenue sharing that's going to go back to
2016?
Dang.
No, wait, when did
Bryce's
you leave?
last year was 2015.
Dang.
God, are you kidding
Well, you can still sue. He said guys prior to that can still sue.
You got a good lawyer?
You know what? I'm gonna file a dang subpoena.
Get up with Reggie Bush and Tim Tebow and just elbow your way into that one.
I thought about Bryce. I was like, are you kidding me? 1 year away from Bryce getting a little scratch. But
Jeez.
I don't know how that's going to work, Bryce, but that was Mack kind of went over all the minutia of it.
What did he say? There was like $2 billion to
Yeah.
like pay back from guys for the
Yeah.
last 8 years. They're not getting that a piece.
No,
but like
yeah,
that's the big.
it's
pot.
going to be a little bit of
And
change.
I mean, by God, there's like 130 Division I schools. So,
yeah, and all the athletes. But still.
I mean, I'll take a G if I need to.
Yeah.
Buy a cool gun or something.
Yeah, get your pack of gum or something.
We got to get you in the because they do legends in the video game, like just Zay Jones.
Yeah.
Has a card in the new college football game. We need to get Bryce in there somehow.
How can I get in there? Can we hack into the system?
Just tell him, just kind of give him a low offer. Be like, look, like what's a boat part you need right now or something? Like $250, $500.
I can do a new motor.
Yeah, how much did that run you?
A new motor? Probably about probably pushing 30.
Yeah, EA Sports will pay that.
$30,000.
That ain't nothing.
Probably like new.
All right.
Yeah, that ain't nothing.
I'll have my people contact their people.
Yeah.
To contact your people.
Perfect.
All right, so that's what's going on the baseball front. Jamie says, is Liberty our farm team? What is it, 2 players in 2 years?
Nick Moran came from Liberty.
Yeah.
Who did not enter the portal.
Hey, nice to have a little pipeline there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the
I
mountains.
mean, if we're going to be treated like a pipeline for these Power 4 schools, maybe we should start treating teams below us as pipelines.
Learn a little bit about baseball. Learn a little bit about Jesus. Come on here to ECU.
That's right.
There we go.
And we'll be more laxed on the rules. You can stay out past 9 o'clock. If your family wants to come to a game and have a beer in the parking lot, you can do that.
Your girlfriend can wear pants and doesn't have to wear a dress every day.
Jeez, man. That was probably the worst trip I've ever made going to that game. It was.
Oh, the football that lasted forever?
After that game, I remember telling you, it's like, I'll be in studio for the rest of them. That sucked and ruined every live.
What was it, the delay, I guess?
No, it was just.
Oh, you went as a fan.
Yeah.
And you couldn't. You got drunk, before the game?
Yeah, and we were following their rules, and then once that rain delay happened, it's like, screw it. And so we started drinking in the parking lot, and everybody walking by acted like we were sacrificing a goat or something.
Well, you shouldn't have put it out there on Front Street. You should have poured a beer into a solo cup and hung out.
Yeah, but when you have a cooler sitting right next to you and you're drinking out of a solo cup, everybody's putting 2 to 2. It's a college. It's a university. They're smart. I mean, they know what's going on.
Were you doing that, though, or were you just like...
I wasn't, but I mean,
exactly.
other people I was with were. So, I mean,
you had a funnel, a beer funnel out there, acting like a damn fool.
Jeez.
No.
Doing keg stands. Rubbing it in their faces.
Look what I can do.
Yeah.
Maybe
Look what I can do and you can't do.
Maybe they should be cooler. I don't know.
All right, real quick, and we'll call our guest here during the break in a moment. But so Bryce comes in and he kind of like Aaron Rodgers is on the Steelers. It's kind of funny, Bryce. We follow the NFL every day, and I literally had this segment with Jarrett last week saying, "Where's DeAndre Hopkins?
Ravens.
Where's Devontae Adams?
Rams.
Yeah, like big names." Not quarterbacks, but like big names, and I don't know where they are now. Did Nick Chubb make it official?
Yep, officially
He's with the Texans. But Bryce, there's been a little quarterback roulette as well. Because you said, isn't Russell Wilson on the Steelers? Well, no, Russell Wilson is with the
Giants.
Well, wait a minute. What about Justin Fields? He was on the Steelers. He is with the
Jets.
But Aaron Rodgers is with the Jets. He's with the
Steelers.
Any other QB moves? Sam Darnold had a great season with Minnesota last year. He is now with the Seahawks.
Jeez.
But wait, what about Geno? Geno Smith put up some big numbers there.
Oh, yeah,
he joined Pete Carroll in Vegas.
Pete Carroll's going to the Raiders?
You don't know that Pete Carroll's there?
No. Golly, he's been in Seattle for how long?
Well, he got fired last year and then took a year off. And, he got hired in, like, February to the Raiders.
Jeez.
So, any other quarterbacks?
Is Tom Brady still, like, with the Raiders in the whole...
Yeah, he's a minority owner.
And announcing. Let's see. Any other QBs in new places? Ravens, Steelers,
Jameis Winston
Burrow.
with the Giants.
Oh, man. The Browns quarterback situation is kind of hilarious. So they drafted Shadur and Dylan Gabriel. They have Kenny Pickett, and they have Joe Flacco, who's still in the NFL.
God, Flacco. That is an interesting...
And they have Deshaun Watson, but he's injured, so he's not going to play.
Yeah.
So they've got 4 QBs right now battling.
Golly. I hope Flacco gets it.
Yeah.
They actually gave him less reps this week, and the media was like, why did you do that? And Kevin Spacey's like, he needs his rest. They're giving him first-team reps and, like, resting him like he's going to be the starter this year.
Grandkids were in town. He needed to go and hang out.
Honestly, geez.
The Colts are going to ride with Daniel Jones, formerly of the Giants, because Anthony Richardson's hurt. Titans drafted Cam Ward. Other new faces in new places.
What was the other team you mentioned? I meant to jump in on that. There's a weird. Dadgummit. I thought they had somebody I don't remember. You just named off a lot of QBs.
Yeah, sorry. Browns, Colts, Titans.
Oh, Jameis Winston. Oh, yeah. Jameis Winston's in the Giants.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson's in the Giants.
Yeah.
So
And they drafted Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. So I guess Russell's looked at as the starter.
Jameis is probably expendable now.
Jameis is like a locker room guy at this point.
Right.
Like he does the pregame speech and makes the guys laugh, and that's his role on the team. In the NFC,
I could do that for his contract.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Minnesota is handing over the reins to J.J. McCarthy, who was the quarterback when Michigan beat ECU and won a championship. He was hurt in the preseason last year, right?
He played one preseason game against the Raiders, and I'm ready for him to play another one, so when they talk about him, they don't show those highlights anymore.
He needs another game tape, but he will take over there because Darnold went to Seattle. The Saints, who knows? I want to see if Bryce knows these people that are the Saints quarterbacks. Carr?
Carr. How'd you know I was going to say him?
Because we're talking about the Saints.
Oh,
he unfortunately retired.
Oh, did he?
The DC era is over.
Daggum. Hell, he made it at least 10 years.
9 years with the Raiders, 2 years with the Saints.
It makes Jared sad.
Yeah.
All right. Tyler Shaw.
From Louisville.
He is a rookie. You ever heard of him? Spencer Rattler.
That sounds.
You know that name. He was at Oklahoma and then played at South Carolina. Jake Hayner. Where is he from? The Valley?
Fresno.
Yeah. And Hunter Deckers. Who's that, Jarrett?
I have never heard of that person.
Hunter Deckers.
Is he Eric Decker's?
If he's already got a kid in the NFL, geez.
Hunter Deckers.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He played for the Iowa State Cyclones and the Iowa Western Reavers. All right. So the Saints are looked at as the worst team heading into this year due to their quarterback situation. So there you go, Bryce. There's a little update. Still old Stafford out there.
Stafford's there. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is.
He's still there. Yeah, you still got vets around. The Falcons, will it be Cousins or Penix?
Well, it'll be Penix.
It's Cousins, but
he reported yesterday.
Okay. He's on the roster, though, right?
Yeah, but
you got old Bake still slinging it in Tampa. He's Baker Mayfield. He's had a few good years. So there you go. That was a Bryce Williams NFL update. We'll have to do this like once a month to catch Bryce up on what's going on.
Well, I mean, if he didn't know Pete Carroll was coaching the Raiders.
Nah,
that was rough.
Y'all got to keep me updated.
We'll keep you updated. Bryce will educate us when we return. We'll talk a little fishing with former Pirate, right? Dylan Rhudy, who is a first mate on the wall hanger. We will talk to him coming up next on Pirate Radio Live after this timeout.
pest control that packs a punch, BAM! Call on the experts at BAM Pest Control. Attention Greenville, BAM Pest Control is here to protect what matters most. Whether it's your business, your home, or your peace of mind, they don't just eliminate pests, they knock them out. BAM Pest Control is #1 in insect control, rodent control, and yard services like fire ants and mosquitoes. BAM! You're insect-free, safe, and comfortable. Call the experts at BAM Pest Control on Hooker Road in Greenville, 252-751-3160. BAM!
I live with back and neck pain for 10 years.
I lived with pain for 10 years.
I lived with left knee pain for about a year.
I tried everything from pain medication to cortisone shots.
I did not want to go under the knife.
And then I found QC Kinetics.
Their holistic treatments fixed my back and my neck.
Their regenerative treatments fixed my knees.
Their natural treatments helped heal my knee pain.
Without surgery, drugs, or downtime.
If you want to be free from pain, come to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, 252-645-6458.
This June, it's employee pricing time at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You heard right. You pay what we pay. Get up to $12,000 off the Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the 2025 Ram 1500. Looking for adventure? We've got employee pricing on the 2025 Jeep Wrangler and the award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee. These deals are hotter than a Carolina summer, but only for a limited time. Hurry to Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today, where you don't need a badge to get the employee discount. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive a little, save a lot.
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street is now open 7 days a week. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, Down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and drinks on the patio. Join Down on Main every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 p.m. to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
This is Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts, Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. We have E-Z-Go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by my shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, we have you covered. We will even deliver right to you. So come see me, Brian Harris, on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Arr, matey, this old ship's looking worse than a sea monster's backside. Look at these splintered planks, this saggy deck. It's a bloody mess.
Ah, you be right, mate. Even the galley's a disaster. Me kitchen's more like a dungeon than a place for cooking.
What we need is someone who can fix this old tub, make it shine like treasure.
Wait, I've heard of KDL Construction in Greenville. Kathy Herring and her crew do magical things with remodeling. They can fix up kitchens, bathrooms, even whole ships. Homes.
Aye, and she talks to her crew like a true captain. No surprises, just smooth sailing. I heard they got a skilled crew with cabinets, counters, and everything we need.
Aye, let's call KDL Construction, mate. It's time to turn this rust bucket into a beauty. I'm gonna visit KDLConstructionLLC.com today.
KDL Construction, turning your home from shipwrecked to ship shape. Arr!
For pest control that packs a punch, BAM! Call on the experts at BAM Pest Control. Attention Greenville, BAM Pest Control is here to protect what matters most. Whether it's your business, your home, or your peace of mind, they don't just eliminate pests, they knock them out. BAM Pest Control is #1 in insect control, rodent control, and yard services like fire ants and mosquitoes. BAM! You're insect-free, safe, and comfortable. Call the experts at BAM Pest Control on Hooker Road in Greenville, 252-751-3160. BAM!
Pirate Radio, no one can outwork us. We are the voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The technicians at New Blue stand ready to face any challenge that time or the elements may throw at your home, and your home deserves the best. And New Blue is ready to help with any electrical, plumbing, and HVAC needs. New Blue also now specializes in crawl space moisture control and encapsulations, along with septic system repairs and installations. Contact them today at callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, redefining service excellence. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Big Rock Week. Had Randy Ramsey on last week. Great conversation with Randy. Thanks to Brandon Manning for setting that up, and enjoyed that chat, kind of talking about the who, what, when, where, why with the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament. But we will talk to a guy who is on one of the boats, and from what I gather, Bryce, not a lot of action today.
No, I think it's been a fairly slow week. Monday, today, so hopefully it picks up. I think a lot more boats are about to be fishing this week.
Jared, you're getting your first kind of your feet wet, if you will, when it comes to the Big Rock. How about last night at the Buck? They have the live Big Rock TV on, and people at the bar are watching it just like we watch basketball and football. They were really into it.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, the bar TVs were on the Big Rock TV.
I never even heard about it a month ago, and now it's all anybody's talking about. I'm still confused.
Well, which Dylan can get into it too. But when it's like, hey, the weigh-in so and so is going to be coming in at not 9:20 in the morning, but they give you time. It's packed at the landing and all that stuff. It's pretty exciting.
Well, we'll get some answers to some questions, and if you got one or two, J-Bone, feel free to throw it out, because Dylan Rhudy joining us on the Pirate Radio Live line, first mate on the wall hanger. And Dylan, we appreciate you joining us, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Doing fantastic. Dylan, from what I understand, kind of a washout today there in Morehead City?
Yeah, we've got a lot of wind and storm offshore of us, and I think every boat laid today. So gearing up for 4 days straight next Wednesday, this comes Wednesday through Saturday. So going to be a shootout here the next few days.
Yeah, and that's what the folks were talking about last night at the Buccaneer Music Hall. I mentioned as we were getting you on that folks were watching it on the TVs, and they said, man, it's going to be a wild into the week with boats laying today. I've got some fishing for dummies questions, and Bryce will get into the nuts and bolts of it all. But real quick, Dylan, first mate, can you kind of give us the titles for the folks on the boat, and how about your title with first mate? What are you responsible for on the boat?
So the program I'm on is a little bit different than some, just because it's a owner operator program. So our captain's the owner of the boat, Brian Allen. So he owns the boat and runs it. I'm his first mate, so I do a lot of the kind of upkeep and general maintenance of the boat, as well as when we're fishing, I'm doing the mating, which is running the cockpit down below, rigging all the baits, doing all the rods, but then kind of our off days and during the week when we're not fishing, doing boat maintenance, cleaning and waxing and just anything that needs done. Those boats it's basically like a house on the water. They got plumbing, electrical, and everything else, HVAC, so there's always something to be done. So I take care of all that, kind of keep everything going. And then when we're fishing, like I said, I'm mating. For tournaments, you got captain, first mate, and then for tournaments, we usually get a second mate, which basically is just a helping hand for me. They have a lot of the same duties on fishing days as I do, just to help me kind of run the cockpit and keep everything going smoothly back there. So yeah, that's kind of the deal there for tournaments.
And Bryce, as we were getting him on, you said Dylan might be a little busy getting things ready for tomorrow and the next day and the next day, right?
Yeah, for sure. I know you told last time when we talked, you said you may be on the boat rigging baits. Are you, on site right now?
Actually just left.
Nice.
I got it done a little early since I was going to be on here, so we knocked it out about midday. But yeah, usually the days before fishing, we'll have a couple hours at least of rigging baits, so stuff's fresh, so we'll always do it the day before we fish. But now, like today, since we're going to be fishing a couple days in a row, we'll have a little bit more to do. We can sometimes rig for maybe a couple days of fishing, but we'll still have some to do on rides in and after fishing days too.
I'm sure. So I was sort of just thinking, for people saying, hearing you say rigging baits, it's blue water fishing, especially tournament fishing, the big rock, getting ready for blue marlins and everything like that. Preparation is a lot different than your typical inshore fishing for trout, redfish. Grab a few rods, grab your tackle box, a few drinks, ice. You're prepping for a whole week. What, I guess, I don't name everything, but how many baits are you rigging? How many rods are y'all fishing? And how many rods are you bringing on board? As far as the gear aspect of it, sort of explain some of that, for those people who don't really know what all it entails to do the blue water fishing and then, obviously target blue marlin.
Yeah, so what we're doing, a lot of the blue marlin fishing for the big rock is what we call heavy tackle fishing. So you're fishing the big gold reels that you see, which we call 130s. A lot, just because we're fishing for, could be a fish of a lifetime. We could catch a sailfish that's 50 pounds, or you could catch a blue marlin that's, you never know, 1,000 pounds. You don't know. So you basically have to be ready for any and all the above. So, on the boat, like during this tournament, I have probably 8 to 10 rods, anything from small kind of sailfish rods up to the 130s. Some guys do different styles of fishing. Some guys pull lures. Some guys pull baits, which is ballyhoos. Could be ballyhoos and mackerels. So, like a lot of times, when we're rigging baits, we're rigging mostly ballyhoos and mackerels. Sometimes you're rigging mullets as well. So, we fish dredges as well, which are basically, it's like an underwater teaser is the easiest way to explain it. Basically like looks and mimics a school of bait, kind of subsurface that we fish off of electric reels. So we'll rig baits for those sometimes. So, you can be rigging anywhere from 50 to 100 baits kind of per day to get ready. And anything, like I said, from mullets that are, 6 to 12 inches long, and ballyhoos that'll catch your sailfish, and then you're rigging Spanish mackerels. They can be 18 inches long for pitch baits for these big blue marlins when they come up on teasers, and you got to have something to throw them. So you just kind of have to be prepared for any and everything, really, for these tournaments.
Dylan, I'm curious about this, and Bryce, you can chime in as well. But like, how much has fishing changed over the years? We talk about a lot of different sports on this show, and the technology aspect of it with analytics and everything has creeped into every sport. But how about fishing? Like, is there more technology that helps you out? And how much is it still on gut, and how much is it weather, and like what all factors are there, and how much is technology versus like gut instinct involved in fishing now?
Yeah, so you always kind of revert back to the tried and true weather conditions, sea conditions, sea surface temps, right? So the temperature of the water at the surface, all that stuff that is always like your baseline that kind of everybody checks, right, to see what we're dealing with. But technology has definitely changed. I'd say even in just the last 2 to 5 years, stuff has changed a lot. So now you'll hear the word sonar in the fishing that we're doing. And basically what that is it's a different, what most people would know as a fish finder, but it's a sonar that goes down directly beneath the boat, and it has 360 degree, basically sonar transmission that we can mark fish with. And it's really got big in our sport in the last, I'd call it 5 to 10 years. And now it's changed the game with how we fish, the style that we fish, because you can mark these fish out instead of just marking directly below your boat, you're marking out beside you. So you can mark a fish 1,000 feet away from you, and you can actually turn to it and try and, get on that fish and get a bite from it. So that's just one example of how technology's come a long way, and that whole aspect of it has evolved a lot, like I said, just in the last couple of years. But also stuff like electric reels, like those dredges I was talking about.
Yeah.
That kind of started several years ago and got real big where everyone's doing it now. This sport is definitely constantly evolving, and you gotta stay with the times and keep up with it if you want to be able to compete.
Are there any no-nos? Like, obviously, other than throwing some weights down a fish's mouth or whatever. Like, right, my dad was a tobacco farmer, and he used to tell me stories in the old days how they kind of toss a little brick or something in there in the tobacco sheet when they weigh it. But like, and there's a lot of technical stuff you got to do. There's so many P's and Q's. But like, are there any no-nos when you're out on the water, or any unwritten rules or written rules? Yeah, that you try to avoid out there.
Yeah, I mean, the tournament has obviously its own set of written rules that you have to abide by. A lot of the stuff is length of line, like your leaders and stuff to your hooks have to be under 30 feet for the most part, just because it can give you advantage if you have longer than that, because you can crank the line straight on the reel and have an advantage of getting to the fish quicker. But other than that, it's just little things like, I'd say the big part with these tournaments is, which there's been some issues in the last couple of years, is the whole mutilation deal. Like, you got to be careful with a fish with how you handle it. You can't. They have the rules about gaffs breaking the plane of the boat. So, like, you don't want to grab a gaff and put it over the side of the boat before you know that you're going to take that fish, because then it can be disqualified. So basically, if you take your gaff and you hold it over the side of the boat before you've taken that fish, it counts as it basically taking the fish, killing it, right, and taking it in. So stuff like that are really the big things. But other than that, it's just a lot of your terminal tackle and line requirements that you got to abide by, which is pretty standard across the board for most tournaments around here.
And seems obvious, Bryce, but we learned this, probably more than a decade ago or so. But make sure everybody has a fishing license, because that cost somebody a lot of money back in the day, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the things you got to definitely be. I mean, everyone that comes on the boat, make sure you have that, which they make you abide by all the NC, wildlife rules and everything else too.
I guess sort of thinking, people, in here fishing and things like that, reverting back to, blue marlin fish, you referencing, these fish get, 1,000 pounds and even bigger. I guess the whole, I'm trying to think of the term, it's not like reeling in, your trout, your flounder, things like that. I guess besides the size, the difficulty of landing these fish, making your judgment. Some people, what is the? I mean, of course, I know the size and the weights they got to be, but how big these fish got to be? What makes the blue marlin, besides I guess their size, that could be so difficult? And real, like more of the technique aspect of it. You see the rods pointed straight out in the line, but then you look to your left or your right, and the fish is 500 yards. To either side and things like that. Like, what makes that more, the fishing for these fish, so much more difficult than just like their size?
Man, really just every single one's different. Like, you'll catch a 100-pounder that'll give you a hard time catching it, and that's just angry, or then you'll catch a 500-pounder that might do it. And most of them do, they do an initial run, take a bunch of line, and then they'll feel that resistance in the drag, and they'll go down deep, and you're basically using the drag and those big reels and that heavy line to fight them and crank them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, every single one is different. So you got to use kind of your techniques with drag and the boat to help you bring those fish up. And a lot of it, obviously, with the angler in the chair, having the right technique in the chair, having the right pressure and drag on the fish to bring it up, are some main big parts of that.
Yeah, and then even the technique that that you've had to do is the type of technique you use to wrap the leader. Because there's been stories guys get pulled overboard because they've wrapped wrong and that fish runs. Even things like that. I'm trying to describe if you can help someone visualize how you're supposed to even grab the leader on these things.
Yeah, so like if you take your hand and hold it up and look at your palm and point, like take your right hand and put your thumb up in the air and look at your palm sideways, basically you don't want that line getting behind your thumb up your arm. So like if you were to take that line and go from your thumb down to your pointer finger, and then you take that line and wrap it around it there, as long as that fish jumps and you have that line from there down, when it runs, it'll pull that line off of your hand without getting wrapped up. So if you have it past your thumb or up your arm is when it won't let it come and peel off your arm, and you can get yanked.
Yeah, goodness gracious, yeah, because that's especially when that fish is getting close to the boat and you're having to grab the leader and just kind of manipulate it that way to try and get it to the boat. That definitely takes a bunch of experience and the confidence and things like that. How long have you been, I guess, fishing blue water and then mating on boats, blue water fishing?
So I started right after college in 2017, so about 8 years. Fished the Big Rock every year since. I've been kind of full-time off and on, but I've been with this boat for 3 years now.
Nice.
So what do you do, Dylan, when you're not fishing this week in the Big Rock? What is your job with fishing?
So really just taking care of the boat the rest of the year. I mean, we travel a good bit. Like, we'll fish the Big Rock and have a week and a half when we leave for Bermuda. So, I'll kind of regroup, clean the boat back up, repack everything, organize, and then we'll get ready to start packing for Bermuda at the end of the month. We'll be gone there for about a month, and then we come back into July, and we'll shoot right at the Pirates Cove in Virginia Beach and fish a couple tournaments up there in August. And then we'll come back here and we fish all the king mackerel local tournaments here in the fall. So my boss has a 47 Freeman and a 39 Yellowfin that I take care of that stuff too.
Yeah.
So we'll fish that stuff here in the fall, and then we go to Costa Rica in November, and we'll spend Costa Rica. We'll see. From November to April, we'll be in Costa Rica, kind of back and forth.
Man.
So
yeah. Full time.
We're not fishing and traveling. Yeah, man, it's busy between the tournaments and our fun fishing days, and then when we're not fishing, it's mostly boat work. Keeping all the systems running and maintained.
Well, this is not comparable, but my dad owned a tilapia farm for years, and I understand the smell of fish, and especially dead fish. So I wanted to say I'm sure it's a ton of work, and sometimes maybe a smelly type of work, but that's a cool lifestyle. Like, that's an interesting path to choose. That's pretty unique, I would say.
Yeah, man, I love it. I mean, it's what I when I started doing it, I went to East Carolina, and then me and my now wife lived down here over the summers, and whenever there was a fish killed, I'd go down there and watch it the weigh-in, whether I was by myself or somebody else. And I'd sit there and watch him, and I would sit there and tell myself, I'm going to do that one day.
Wow.
I'm going to do that one day.
Living out your dream.
And right after college is when I went. My wife went to grad school, and I took the shot and went and charter fished on the waterfront. And from then on, I've been doing it. And it's like, I just got hooked, and it's what I love to do. And I'm just lucky enough now to do it for a living. Man, I live the dream every day. It's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of us say, Bryce, that we're pirates, but he truly is a man of the sea.
Man of the sea, yeah.
That's right.
Well, Dylan, good luck. So you're going to be, the wall hanger's going to be out there. What days coming up this week?
We'll fish Wednesday through Saturday.
Man, awesome. So a lot of work for you, but hopefully it pays off in a big way.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I hope you get that 500.
I hope so too. Fingers crossed, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, Dylan, thanks for joining us, man. Awesome insight on what you're doing out there, and we'll catch up with you again down the road, bud.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
There is Dylan, Rhudy. Bryce, appreciate you hooking up that interview. Hooking up. Let's see what I did there. That is, again, interesting stuff to me. It's out of my area of expertise, so always hearing somebody that I love hearing people like passionate about what they do.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I'm not interested in it, because it can get me interested in it. But that is again an interesting lifestyle he lives, and got to be good at what he does to be able to have that much responsibility that he has on that boat, the wall hanger. So, all right, I got a rooting interest now in the Big Rock.
Yeah,
I'll be pulling for those guys. Let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll get our Fleet Feet rundown. We'll throw out the College World Series bracket, see when the action gets underway. We'll talk about that and more in Pirate Radio Outdoors with Bryce Williams when we return after this.
This is Dr. McDowell here with Orthopedics East, and I'm excited to share that we've partnered with Fleet Feet to bring you a community race series that includes 3 awesome races throughout the year. Each one a local nonprofit making a real difference right here in our own town. Starting with the Big Run, benefiting Ainsley's Angels, the Glow Run, benefiting Building Hope, and Santa Dash, benefiting Riley's Army. To sign up, go to runtheeast.com. Join Orthopedics East in running for a cause and making every mile matter.
Hey Birdland, Saturday, May 31st, cheer on the Orioles against the Chicago White Sox at Oriole Park at Camden Yards at 4:05. Arrive early. The first 20,000 fans receive a Grayson Rodriguez bobblehead. Add to your collection with this bobblehead featuring Grayson Rodriguez wearing the O's orange-on-orange uniform. Come out and enjoy a fun-filled Orange Out Saturday at the Yard. Be sure to wear your favorite Orange O's gear and fill the stadium with orange. Buy tickets at Orioles.com/tickets.
Spring has officially sprung. Time to trade in those winter blues for blooming flowers, sunny days, and maybe even a new home. If spring cleaning just isn't cutting it and you're ready for a fresh start, contact ENC Pirate Realty Alan Tate to find your next perfect home. Buying or selling, now's the time to make your perfect move. Get started today at ENCPirateRealty.com. ENC Pirate Realty Alan Tate. We close the deal or someone walks the plank. ARG. Go Pirates!
Doug Henry of Greenville is looking for your trade-in and your business. Doug Henry of Greenville is right on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Memorial, and always right on the price and looking to beat every offer out there. Bring in any offer from CarMax, and they will beat it by $500. Just bring it in and you won't be disappointed. Doug Henry of Greenville has over 300 vehicles to choose from and brand new inventory arriving daily, and you can always check them out online at DougHenryGreenville.com. Doug Henry, right on the corner and right on the price.
This summer, the Greenville Yard Gnomes are back at historic Guy Smith Stadium.
Hey there, it's me, Gnomeo, the Yard Gnomes mascot. You've heard of gnomes bringing good luck, right? Well, I'm here to bring you great baseball and tons of fun, too. We're excited to have a great team, including a few ECU baseball players this year.
Season tickets are on sale now, so visit yardgnomesbaseball.com to get yours today.
We'll have great food, cold drinks, and fun games for everyone. Come out and hang with your gnomies this summer and have some fun at the ballpark with us, the Greenville Yard Gnomes.
Overtime's Tavern is officially open in downtown Greenville. Whether you're craving a cold drink, hot meal, or just a place to unwind with friends in a laid-back atmosphere, we've got you covered. Join us daily from 11 a.m. to midnight every day, or stick around for our late-night hours on the weekends. Follow Overtime Tavern on Facebook or Instagram for daily specials and events, including live music. OT's is right across from the Sheets on Charles Boulevard in downtown Greenville. Overtime's Tavern, where every hour feels like overtime.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Danny Beal, and the best place to go for custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items is University Sportswear. University Sportswear was easy to work with when I needed my custom t-shirts. From start to finish, University Sportswear provided superior customer service and a quality product that cannot be beat. If your business, organization, or event needs t-shirts or promotional help, then you need University Sportswear. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. Go Pirates!
This is Mack McCarthy, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Chronic joint pain hovers. You never know when it's going to rear its ugly head, and that goes for David Garrard, too. This is why the medical professionals at QC Kinetics take their job so seriously. When they treat patients like David Garrard, they are delivering long-term relief, treatments without surgery or downtime. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today at 252-645-6458. That's 252-645-6458. And are you thinking about purchasing a new home? Stop by and see Integrity Home Mortgage at their new office location in Greenville at 1420 Arlington Boulevard. Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of loan programs to help you get pre-approved. The Integrity Home Mortgage team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir have over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with the superior customer service you deserve. Start your home shopping process with a call to Integrity Home Mortgage today at 252-714-2076. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Appreciate Dylan Rhudy for joining us on the program. I had a ton of questions, Brian. The technology question, I wanted to ask, like, is there performance-enhancing, I don't want to say drugs, but, like, satellite, like, I don't know.
I don't think all the boats have it. It's called, like, the Omniscope, the sonar. It's literally almost like a submarine, and it does a sonar and it pings the fish.
Yeah.
I think there's like a certain class that's in, like, you have your Omni group and then your, I guess, traditional.
Because it's not cheating, but it's certainly a major advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big advantage. But like you said, to keep up with the times and be, that's what you got to do. Because obviously being able to find where the fish are good, but you still got to get that thing to want to eat and all that stuff. But I mean, there was several questions. I'm familiar with it, but the size 130 reels he was talking about. I mean, they're like as wide as that piece of paper, and I would want it. I don't really know the exact yardage that it holds, but I think it's like at least 1,000 yards of line.
Wow.
I mean, it's pretty cool to see that type of gear.
We'll stay outdoors. We'll get our Fleet Feet rundown and go Pirate Radio Outdoors with Bryce Williams. So, Bryce, you said there was a chance you might be on a boat in the Big Rock, but not going to do that this year?
Not going to do it this year. Maybe
any of your people doing it? Is Jay?
Jay's fishing. He's going to be on Diamond Girl. I do have a buddy of mine who's, I think, going to possibly be a potential angler on Diamond Girl later in the week. Just because I guess you kind of want, not able-bodied, but you want kind of younger, not necessarily younger, but people who can have that fight.
Are you worried about offending someone, Bryce?
Like, I guess that somebody can have the endurance, we'll say.
You don't want me out there, is what you're saying.
No, you'll be fine. You're a young, strapping chap.
Young, strapping chap.
But, so they'll be out there. I think CJ's going to be fishing it. Outside of, wall hanger, Dylan, and I know a few other people are going to be on wall hanger, then Diamond Girl, and then Piracy will be out there. Another friend of mine, Parker Lancaster, I'm pretty sure their boat's fishing it. I think he's on El Capitan, if that's right, but he's a captain on that. I'm pretty sure he's captain for the Big Rock. So I got a handful of people out there that I know, and that was 2020.
I pulled up an old interview with CJ Struck because I believe during this interview at some point, Bryce, maybe it was, there it is. He did a camera pan.
Oh, yeah.
To a big old, to a marlin in the office. So, that was a cool interview with CJ Struck.
Yeah.
Who, is he involved? What does he do?
So they're with their family's TMX shipping.
Okay.
With a family business, I guess.
Oh, okay. So he just fishes in it.
They just have a boat that they'll just fish in. They fish tournaments, they'll fish.
Former pirate CJ Struck, for those wondering who CJ is. But good stuff. How about you? You been on the water at all?
I was fortunate enough to go Sunday. Had beautiful weather. It was beautiful weather, but as Dylan was saying, your wind, your tried and true weather, wind, water temps, things like that, play a role in fishing. And the wind was not good for me in the Pamlico. Wind was a little, as far as the speed of the wind was a little choppy. Temperatures were good, but the wind direction plays a role, especially like in the creeks and things like that, because obviously if water's been blowing the wrong way for too long, it's kind of blowing out of the creeks and things like that. But that plays a little role. But I was able to catch at least one target species, a trout, and all the others were skate, which is aggravating because you think you have something big, and then pretty soon I don't feel any head shakes, and it's a skate, and you're just like, are you kidding me? But boat ran good. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, so
Yeah.
a skate looks like a
ray.
A devil ray. A
Yeah,
ray.
like that's a ray. These are skate. They're a
Okay.
pain in the.
Can't do nothing with
They're
them.
not favorable. You could if you were real desperate and hungry, but most of the time, I prefer the crabs eat them. We'll just say that.
Gotcha.
But it's good.
Speaking of outdoors, been seeing a lot of deer lately. Luckily, not on the road, but on the edge.
On the edge.
Been seeing a lot of them. So
Yeah, I tell you, I'm still rubbernecking in the fields. It's funny, the turkey have just vanished. Like I've seen them in the fields like you do during turkey season. But deer, I'm rubbernecking all the time, just thinking, see a buck and velvet or something. So my mind's on that too, that's for sure.
all right, that is Pirate Radio Outdoors, brought to you by Stroud's Marine. It's all about the Marine and being out on the water this week at the Big Rock Blue Marlin Tournament. And King Mackerel's Restaurant and Bar on the Morehead City waterfront is the place to be during Big Rock Week. Daily food specials, acoustic acts every day 1 to 4, and a big show coming up this Saturday with Cooper Greer. If you missed yesterday's Pirate Radio Live, you could see a live performance from Cooper Greer that was absolutely awesome. Get your tickets for the special event today by visiting King Mackerel's on social media. You can find a link to the tickets there, just $20, and you can go party with Cooper Greer. He said the cool part is he's 1 to 4, and he'll be able to hang out with the folks afterwards. So he's looking forward to playing for you and also hanging out with you coming up on Saturday. Check it all out at King Mackerel's on the waterfront in Morehead City. Bryce, you plan on going down there?
Yes, thankfully I plan on shooting down there Friday afternoon.
Nice.
So we'll be there for the weekend, and we'll see what's going on 1 to 4. Maybe hopefully a boat's coming in with the fish, and can be down in the water and see a boat. See a blue marlin hauled up.
Yeah.
So
it's a big scene.
Oh yeah.
Here is your College World Series schedule coming up. 1 o'clock on Friday, game 1 between Coastal Carolina and Arizona. Friday at 6 p.m., it'll be Oregon State and Louisville. Saturday at 1, UCLA and Murray State. And then Saturday at 6, it'll be Arkansas and LSU as the action gets underway Friday in Omaha. Coming up tonight, it's big time in sports with the Stanley Cup final and the NBA finals, and neither one's going on tonight.
I mean, listen to this NBA finals, dude. Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
No Friday, Saturday game so far, and honestly, nobody cares. I don't care.
Right.
I normally watch every minute of every game during these finals. Do not care. Have not watched a second.
They're trying to wreck the views with that schedule.
I guess. And Friday and Saturday are, people are out, but like for you, Jared, and me years ago, that was a good go to the bar and watch a game night. You know what I'm saying?
That's like,
and there's no game to watch.
Nothing.
Yeah. So, kind of a shame. By the way, the series tied at 1 going to Indiana tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And then in hockey, Florida put it on Edmonton last night. Panthers up 2-1 in that series. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get ready to wrap it up with Bryce Williams when we return after this.
You love U.S. Cellular Home Internet. It lets you do all your favorite things because it's fast, reliable, and affordable.
Switch to U.S. Cellular today and do the things you love with internet you love. Just pay $39.99 a month when you bundle with a wireless plan. And if you don't love it, you have 15 days to let us know. Built for us. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Pirate Nation, your dream home starts with an unshakable foundation. At Unshakable Builders, they don't just build houses, they build trust. fast. From blueprints to keys, their expert team is with you every step of the way. Serving Greenville and all of Eastern North Carolina since 2009, Unshakable Builders turn visions into reality with craftsmanship you can count on. You dream it, they build it. Visit unshakablebuilders.com to start your journey home the right way. Unshakable Builders, build on a solid foundation.
Capital Subaru of Greenville is transforming your everyday commute into something a little more extraordinary. Subaru was just named 2025's best overall automotive brand by Consumer Reports, and there's never been a better time to drive one home. From the adventure-ready Outback to the sleek and efficient Forester, they got the perfect ride for you. In addition to their great selection of new and used car inventories, the Subaru Service Center is commanded by a team of experts, handpicked for their knowledge, passion, and promise to treat every car as if it's their own. Capital Subaru of Greenville, off Memorial Drive, or online at capitalsubaruofgreenville.com.
You don't have to choose between comfort and capability when you're behind the wheel of a 2025 Honda Pioneer 704. Rugged and reliable, it delivers the power you need on the job, the smooth shifting you want on the trail. And with Honda's exclusive quick flip seating, you get the versatility of seating 4 passengers or stowing the back seats for a full cargo bed. See the latest Honda Pioneer 704 today at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 16 and older.
Looking for the ultimate spot on the Morehead City waterfront this summer? Then head to King Mackerel's Restaurant and Bar, where the food is fresh, the drinks are cold, and the vibes are always live. During Big Rock Week, they've got acoustic acts every day from 1 to 4 and full bands rocking the deck Thursday through Saturday. And don't miss the big one Saturday, June 14th. It's Rock the Landing with Cooper Greer. Then Jake Sutton takes the stage that night to keep the party going. So whether you're reeling in a marlin or just soaking up the sun, come grab a bite, listen to some tasty tunes, and make your summer legendary at King Mackerel's on the waterfront in Morehead City.
This is Dr. Hasty from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as a walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates.
A pepperoni pizza for the table.
Thank you.
And may I suggest trying it with our Pepsi Zero Sugar? It has just the right amount of sweetness to complement all that cheesy, saucy goodness, while the carbonation and notes of citrus enhance the flavor profile. Simply divine.
Pepsi Zero Sugar? You've really outdone yourself this time. Pizza deserves Pepsi.
Father's Day is here, and it's your opportunity to say thanks. I'm Rhonda with Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington, and we've been making dads happy for 41 years. Russell's offers an amazing selection of sportswear and accessories, including the best from Johnny O, Peter Millar, Duckhead, and Gentile. Can't make a decision? No problem. Gift certificates are always a win in any amount. Make it easy and shop Russell's for a great selection, personal service, and free signature gift wrap. Where it's all about you, our pirate friends and customers.
Pirate Radio.
And you, lad.
I'm Peter.
That's not a pirate name. What about Dastardly Jim, eh?
No.
Very well. In punishment for lack of an interesting pirate name, Peter shall walk the plank.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
It was a good day for the stock market. The Dow was up 105 points and closed at 42,866. The NASDAQ was up 123 points at 19,714. S&P was up 32 at 6,038. That is your Wells Fargo Advisors Stock Market Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now, back to the show.
All right, wrapping up here on a Tuesday. Appreciate you hanging out, Bryce.
Thanks for having me.
You and the fam going to go check out a little Chico's action.
Little Chico's,
Can't beat that.
On our 10-year date anniversary, so happy date anniversary.
You know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got 2 anniversaries. I only worry about my wedding anniversary, which is 2 days from now. You got another one.
So happy anniversary, early anniversary.
Hey, appreciate that. You going? What are you going with tonight?
At Chico's, I don't even know yet. I don't know.
I'm gonna say shrimp tacos and put that in your brain, but
that's nice.
There's a lot of good options. So.
Shrimp taco or burrito, probably.
Yeah. Well, you get Davis the shrimp tacos. You get a burrito,
and you won't eat all of it.
No, and you just take care of them both. That's a fat man's move, Bryce. Don't pull that move. We'll talk to you next week. Shirley, J-Bone, enjoyed it. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We will see you Wednesday, 3 o'clock, all new edition of Pirate Radio Live. For the crew, I'm Clip Brock. Jeff Charles, take us home.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live.